Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Hello, Duncan.
Hello, Joe. Hello.
Father Trussell.
Hello, Father Rogan.
Are we allowed to do this?
What?
This religion you can kind of goof on a little bit.
Catholicism?
Yeah. They get testy.
I don't, having now gone to more than a few Catholic masses, which are beautiful, and hung out with Catholics who are awesome, I've really had to reconfigure everything I used to think about it because they're just really sweet. Had a long conversation with a priest. Brilliant dude. Totally like non-judgmental, kind of intellectual, philosophical. Like right away, I'm like, oh, I should have this guy on my podcast.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not what, it's the, I feel like the Christianity that most people are angry at is not even Christianity. It's
You know what I think it's like?
What?
Like saying that you're a liberal person. Because I'm pretty liberal and you're pretty liberal.
Yeah.
In the greater spectrum.
Yeah.
But then you get lumped in with Antifa. Then you get lumped in with, whatever crazy LBGT issue of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and even Antifa doesn't want to be called liberal. Did you know that?
What do they know?
Well, Antifa is anti-capitalist, and that is not liberal. So that's the problem. Is like the terms are really muddy right now.
Right.
So when you're looking at like Portland, the protesters in Portland.
Yeah, what exactly is going on in Portland? I'm trying not to pay attention.
Oh, well, what's happened is...
I know they've brought in the National Guard. Is that happening? Or
Yeah.
they tried to and they got blocked?
No, I think they have now. I think they're there. So what's happened is they're in front of the ICE facility. There are ongoing protests at night. Now, I watch these streams, and I've been watching a self-professed fascist named Carlin, who drinks and basically roasts these live streams. But weirdly, she has apparently embedded herself with Antifa before. And so it's such a funny stream because like...
So they tolerate her?
Oh, no, not anymore. She like... No. She's like, I don't know if she's trolling or not, but on her stream, she's like, I am a fascist.
Right.
So she's proudly proclaiming she's a fascist. I don't know how much of that is trolling, how much of it is real, but conservatives who are drawn to her stream will say things like, these people are funded by George Soros. And it's the funniest thing because she gets so mad. And she's like, get off fucking Fox News. Stop watching that shit. It's all wrong. Do these people look funded? Do these people look like they have money? They're not funded. It's so, and I guess her bigger point is by saying these are funded agitators and not saying what they actually are, which is anti-capitalist revolutionaries, you dilute what's really happening. Because what's really happening, according to her, and I think a fair amount of people, is that the economy is so fucked. The middle class is diminishing so much. The cost of living is so high that this is the perfect soil you need if you wanted communism to grow anywhere. Because you're some kid, you've been like glued to Reddit or TikTok, you've been getting your fucking amygdala jerked off on by the devil. You're just filled with like unease. You've watched assassinations, attempted assassinations, the banking crisis, all of it. And it's like, then you like some Marxist theorist starts telling you a little bit about like
dismantling capitalism.
You got it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Back when I was in liberal arts school, if shit was the way it was, and especially if it was some hot goth girl started talking to me a little bit about dismantling capitalism, I think I would be like, yeah, let's dismantle. But so that's what you're seeing there. The breakdown of it is that the Democrats and Republicans, what they have in common is they believe in private property, and they believe the power of the state should be used to protect private property. And so anti-capitalists, as communists, they think that that's just fucked up. Essentially, the breakdown of it, as far as I could tell, sorry all the communists out there, I'm going to ruin Marxism. I'm saying it's very complex, but from what I understand, the idea is this. You have a bunch of money. You buy a factory. You hire someone to run the factory. You get a bunch of workers to go into the factory. The workers are the ones who are making money for you. They're the ones who are skilled. You just knew what number to call. Got yourself a factory, got yourself managers for the factory. You are now going to take a huge cut of the profit, and the workers are not going to get very much at all. And Karl Marx, as I understand it, was saying that's bullshit. Like, all you do is buy an apartment, keep it sort of painted in between tenants, and sit back and collect money. Why? Just because you had some money? And then when you look at the way money flows uphill, you see this creates a perfect situation for a world of renters, a world of workers, a world of people getting paid minimum wage, while the person who owns the means of production gets the most money. And so this is a growing sentiment in the world right now.
Right.
And honestly, it's like you're working 2 fucking jobs. You're getting paid minimum wage. You know how much the CEOs are making.
Or how about the people that came into this country because they were told that the borders were open? They established a life here for 4 years.
20 years.
Or how about the most recent ones even? And then all of a sudden you're getting hunted down.
Yeah. Hunted down. Now this, and let's just...
Well, wouldn't that start this idea as well? Wouldn't that feed into the idea?
Well, yeah.
Of dissolving the state?
Absolutely. You're watching this shit, and you're high as a kite. You're watching this stuff. And let's just say that this appeals to a lot of different people, by the way. Let's just say you're the garden variety InfoWars person. You've been listening to Alex Jones, or
right.
You've read Behold a Pale Horse, or you have any kind of connection to conspiracy prognostications, which all say at some point there's going to be martial law, troops in the streets,
right.
And you're seeing this play out. And so, my God, and even worse, imagine you're in the fucking military, and you actually join the military. You're one of those people, September 11th happens, you're like, I'm going to defend this country. And suddenly, you're in a bus going to Portland. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they want to be there. If I had to guess, it's got to be a weird feeling to be in your own country with, like, military-grade weaponry, looking at people in duck costumes.
Yeah, it's a very blunt instrument to deal with a very complex problem. And,
yeah.
And first of all, it's the way, let's just talk about the immigration thing. The way it looks is horrific. When you're just arresting people in front of their kids and just normal, regular people that have been here for 20 years,
yeah.
That everybody who has a heart can't get along with that.
No.
Everybody who has a heart sees that and goes, that can't be right. That can't be right. That can't be the only way to do this.
Right.
Because you have to think, look, yeah, we have to have a border. Yes, it should have been secure. Yes, they should make sure you know who everybody is before they get in.
Yeah.
But when people been here for 20 years, like, come on, man. That's crazy. Like,
yeah.
Let's find a way. If they've been productive members of society for 20 years, no criminal record, they worked the entire time, they paid taxes, find them a pathway to citizenship. Find a way where you can do this thing that you want to do, which is keep terrorists and cartel members from getting across the border with drugs that kill 100,000 people a year. Okay, but also have a fucking heart. Because if you don't, you're not going to get anybody on your side. If you're doing this stuff publicly, throwing women to the ground, handcuffing people, just for existing on the wrong side of the dirt.
Yeah.
Not a criminal. Not the only crime they ever committed was coming over here as a kid.
Yeah.
They probably didn't even know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
You know, a lot of kids got snuck across when they were already born in Mexico. And they've grown up their entire life in America. They can't even speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And they could get sent back.
Dude, I mean, that's it. You're describing exactly the reality, and there just isn't.
No one gets on board with that, man. No one with a heart.
Well, no. I mean, the only way you can get on board with it is you have to essentially go like pure Machiavellian. Here's the argument, and the way I just gave an argument for Marxism, which I am not a Marxist. I heard a great interview with the guy running ICE on NPR, which I thought was wild. NPR had him on, and they gave him a fair interview. I figured they would be all up his ass. So his defense of the Machiavellian tactics that are being employed right now is that he apparently has worked as some kind of border agent for 20 years. He says, you could hear it in his voice, man. It fucked him up. He's like, I've seen the back of trucks filled with dead bodies. Oof. You know what I mean? With children in there who died, no oxygen. I've seen these horrors that have come from the open border and how awful it is. If we give any semblance of compassion or mercy for the people who've been here for 20 years, for the people with kids, the kids who get any loophole that we convey is going to produce more people trying to come over the border, and many of those people are going to get killed. They're going to, they're drowned. There will be many deaths because of this, not to mention the drug smuggling and all that stuff. And so every time the NPR reporter would push back with the human rights compassion angle, his take is, yeah, but which do we pick? Which do we choose? Creating some way for people to stay in the United States who came here as kids and do the nuanced, compassionate thing, but it gives the impression to the rest of the world that we're doing that, and that gets X amount of people killed, that many people die. That was his take on it, which is why they're doing this.
They're still going to have human trafficking, and if you've got a very closed border and you give amnesty, they're going to figure out a way to get people in.
That was his
people are going to die
argument.
doing it.
That's his argument. And when he was talking about like all the awful shit he's seen, and you hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, maybe I don't completely agree with your point of view, but I can understand where you're coming from there. And yet, when you see this in practice, when it's not an NPR interview and you see the videos you've been seeing and everyone else has been seeing, then you realize like sure, but there must be a way to do this that doesn't involve ripping parents out of their communities, away from their children, that doesn't involve like actually removing people who've been contributing to society, to American society, from American society, sending people to other countries when they can't even speak the language. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
no one with a heart is going to go along with that.
No.
And no one, I did not ever anticipate seeing that on TV on a regular basis.
Me either, man. Me either. It's shocking.
I really thought they were just going to go after the criminals. I really thought there was enough gang members and enough people, MS-13 members and whatever they were looking for, that they're wanted. They would go after those guys.
Dude,
That's what I thought, right? But how many gang members have they actually arrested?
No idea. But you see how, and I hate using this word because the word is getting thrown around so much, and it's a stupid. Well, you didn't say that word. I'll say authoritarianism. Yeah. You see how authoritarianism, when it begins to emerge, it's not like it's like non-consensual. You see how it slowly creeps in, and how there's a great many people directly impacted by people who have crossed the border without using the right protocol, and in a horrific way. And there are gangs that have been in apartment complexes. There's people who've seen those videos too.
Right.
And they're like, fuck yeah. Yeah. And also a lot of people who got citizenship the regular way, went through fucking hell to get citizenship here, they're also like, fuck them. They're cutting in line, these motherfuckers. They're gumming up the system. They're making it so that we who are following the rules, not only it's taking us longer, But also now we have to deal with ICE too. So those people are pissed. So there is a contingent of people who maybe feel the same thing all of us are feeling, but also are like, but, you know, what's worse? You know,
This is how I think the only way to do it would be where you could get everyone on your side. Borders are closed, and we're going to find out who's committed felonies. Who out of the people that are illegal that have committed felonies. And if you've committed X amount of felonies, you have to leave the country.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you've been robbing people for the last 10 years and you're an illegal, you have to leave the country, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you've been here for 25 years, you have a family, your kids go to school here, you speak the language, you're just illegal. But you're a contributing member to the community that up until now has been protected. This is crazy to ask lower income and middle income people who are, you know, kind of getting by, and then all of a sudden you're about to ship them to a country where they've never been. They haven't been since they were 4.
Yeah.
And you're gonna pull up their family and pull up, and they've been in the community like that. That shows no heart, and that's the problem. Like, you're not gonna get any reasonable people to want to go along with that. Any kind person would look at that and go, "This can't be the only way to do this."
Damn right. But you see, once authoritarianism starts creeping in, and it makes some inroads, which it's definitely making right now, man. It's definitely making right now, and you know, I think. One thing both of us have in common is we're really good at like thinking from the other perspective. Like I can put myself fully into the mind of like a super paranoid person who lives in a city that's all fucked up and who's like, yeah. It's like, remember that awesome show where it's like one of those vengeance shows where that this dad, his family gets fucked up by gang members, and then he just goes and starts shooting people. You know, Charles Bronson.
Oh yeah, Death Wish.
Death Wish.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of people who are in Death Wish mode right now, and they're just like, fuck yeah, get the troops in the fucking streets. These motherfuckers, I get my car broken into every fucking night. Nothing's happening. Let's go. And from, you know, their perspective, it all makes sense. But the problem is, once we all start getting used to the military in the streets.
And once we just accept it. Yeah.
That's no good.
But it's like, how bad does the police have to get at doing their job? Or is it the upper management that institutes policies? Or is it that the people vote these policies in? But whatever it is that allows the kind of fucking chaos that you can find in Portland, like whatever this is, you guys aren't doing it right. If this was a house and I came over your house and these are your kids, I would call protective services.
Right.
I'd be like, this fucking psychopath must be smoking meth with his kids because everybody's just running around camped out on the fucking sidewalk. Like none of this makes sense. I'd be like, this is an unfit parent. That's an unfit government.
Yeah.
If you've got a city where people are just openly shitting in the streets, sleeping everywhere, needles, you have homeless tents. You ever see Oakland? You ever see some of those fucking homeless tents?
Yeah, dude.
Those huge villages. Like, this is bananas.
This
didn't exist when we were kids.
Well, dude, this is the thing. Like, I actually, when I was living in LA and was like thinking of like, what are some fun ways to like shit disturb? I was thinking, you know what you could do? You could throw a music festival, but you could tell everyone who comes to the music festival to pretend to be homeless. Bring tents, put the tents out. They can't do shit. But if you threw a music festival in LA and didn't get any licensing, like, you can camp out, it's going to be awesome, everybody's going to jail. You know what I mean? You could do a Burning Man, just like, guys, we're just, if they ask, we're homeless. And it would be fine. And it's that's the place where it gets, where this is the problem, is it's like, this is what Chogyam Trungpa called idiot compassion. There's compassion, then there's idiot compassion. Now, idiot compassion is thinking that leaving a bunch of people out in the streets who are in varying degrees of psychosis and drug addiction and long-term brain injury, and then thinking let's just let them do their thing, when they obviously need help. If those were 11-year-olds, go back to the kid idea. If those are like 8-year-olds, I mean, people would be helping them because they're
right. Because they're full grown, no more help.
Dude, I'm sorry.
I was just going to tell you something.
Oh, sorry.
Regardless of what you think about it, artificial intelligence is efficient. In just seconds, you've got data that used to take weeks to gather. But this also means that AI is making things easier for data brokers who are tracking and monitoring your every move when you go online. But there's a way to stop your information from being recorded, and that's with ExpressVPN, an app that hides your IP address and reroutes 100% of your online daily activity through secure encrypted servers. This keeps data brokers from tracking your information, therefore protecting your data from invasive advertisers, scammers, and even criminals. ExpressVPN protects you with the same level of encryption used by the U.S. government and security experts worldwide. Plus, it's fast, it's easy to use, and it works on all your devices. It's trusted by millions of users and is the #1 ranked VPN by experts at CNET and The Verge. And right now, you can get 4 extra months free if you tap the banner or go to expressvpn.com/Rogan. That's expressvpn.com/Rogan. And if you're watching on YouTube, get your 4 free months by scanning the QR code on screen or by clicking the link in the description. There's a video of this guy driving through Oakland, and he's driving through this like insane encampment area that's nuts. And then you cross a line and he goes into the next area of jurisdiction where they have different policies. It's squeaky clean. And the guys are in the car. He's like, no fucking way.
That's
like,
wild.
This is nuts. Like, it's clear.
That's wild.
It's policy.
That's
it's
wild.
clear. It's how they handle homeless people just camping out in the streets, whether they tolerate it. If you don't tolerate it, your city stays clean. If you tolerate it, you get these massive camps that look. Show a video of the Oakland camps, because they're some of the craziest ones in the country. They're massive, dude. It's like downtown LA is another one.
Yeah.
Downtown LA has some pockets where you're like, this
Holy
is
shit.
nuts.
Holy shit. It's an open air combination mental asylum, drug market.
Yeah, fire. They're tapping into electrical lines.
Yeah, yeah, and it just happens. Like you and they do.
Look at this.
Holy shit,
dude.
Wouldn't want to walk barefoot around there, man.
It says this video is the Oakland, California homeless problem is beyond belief. So it's just shanty towns of crazy people.
Wow.
The whole streets are lined with them.
That is so nuts.
It's nuts, man.
That is so nuts. Yeah, and and you could see how somebody
Look at this shit.
How watching this, you might ask yourself, is there something wrong with the system that this is one of the things that can happen in the United States if you fail hard enough? And because like talk about like the heart. The idea of a heart. It's like, dude, look at this. It's like this. This
is crazy. This is like a festival.
Well,
this is like a psycho festival.
Dude, all you need is, look at that. They've got couches. That is like, we had a camp like that at Burning Man. Those people know how to set up a sunshade.
This is a community. Like, look at this. This is a garbage people
got a little
community.
Fence.
This is
It's
nuts.
got a little fence. Yeah.
I bet these are some wacky people. I bet there's a lot of flat earthers in that camp.
Dude, I guarantee hollow earthers too. There's
another way.
There's both. Dude, okay, I'm going to virtue signal, but I don't mean to, but it plays into what we're talking about. Now, before I virtue signal, I just want to say I never do this shit. Unfortunately, I should. But my kid and I, we go into a coffee place before school. There's this, filthy dude sleeping on the street, and my kid is, notices that, and my kid was like, maybe he's hungry. I'm like, all right, let's give him some food. So, get him a little sandwich. Then I got him some coffee, and my kid says to me, "Do you really think this guy needs more addictions, Dad?" It's really funny.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Oh my God, coffee's good. Is an okay addiction. All right. And so, but the other thing he said is, he's like, that guy looked angry. And I'm like, no, he's not. No, really what you're looking at there is like he doesn't take showers. That's a really dirty person right now. He doesn't have access to showers, and when you see them, they can seem really intimidating. And so we go up there, and somebody told me whenever you give shit to these people, ask them their name because they're dehumanized. Like people, they're invisible. No one even looks at them. You try not to look at them, not to make eye contact.
Right.
So I go up there and I'm like, please don't let this be some kind of fucking psycho crackhead who starts screaming out demonic babble and ruins any altruism my boy's gonna have for the rest of his life. I'm like, what's your name? He's like, Chris, what's your name? Nice Southern, voice, just sweet as could be. Give him the food, give him the coffee. He's like, I was thirsty. Thank you so much. And like, just the sweetest guy ever. And then he's like, what month is this? Like a time traveler, man.
Maybe he is. I'm reading this Richard Dolan book. I should clarify. I'm actually listening. There's a real difference. There is a difference between reading and listening. I listen to mostly audiobooks, but I will say I read a book that I didn't read. But this one I'm listening to. And this Richard Dolan book is all about these different hybrids of aliens and humans that have been encountered in various people's abduction experiences that are the same story. Cool. The same story over and over and over again, universally worldwide. And there's a bunch of different types of hybrids that they've sort of documented.
What are they?
Well, they think that what's going on is the best guess is they're doing some sort of genetic engineering either on humans or have done it on humans or are using human DNA for maybe another project they're doing. But it has something to do with breeding and it has something to do with genetic engineering. But like some of them say that they're forced to have sex with female aliens, like a female sexy alien comes in and but it sounds real. It doesn't sound like it really happened, but it sounds like if I was an alien and, I was running science experiments.
Yeah.
One best way to make it like the least traumatic to get the jizz out of your body is to devise a really hot like female alien that's mostly like a woman, like almost entirely like a human woman.
Do you think they tried other ones before they got to like a hot woman?
I think every now and then they need some pure human DNA, and that's when they get a dude to fuck her.
Oh, dude!
And they're probably the most sensual, the sweetest, because they need the most cum. They want all of it. They want all that cum.
How lucky are you? How lucky are you to get picked?
One of these guys in this story had this recurring experience.
Oh, man. That would be just so wonderful to realize that you'd been picked and this
I think it would ruin your life. I think it would make going back to work impossible. You just fucked an alien. Now you have to do paperwork. You have to do nonsense, stupid paperwork for your insurance company. When last night you fucked an alien. You went into a craft that was the size of a VW bus, and inside of it was like a football stadium.
Fuck yeah.
And then you got down with this female alien in a sexy time room.
7 feet. 7 beautiful feet. And, you're...
She has 7 feet? Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
I think it's a human-looking alien.
Well, if you're genetically engineering something to fuck, like, why does it have to be
because it has to turn the guy on.
Well,
he said it was like a sexy woman, but just something was different. The
no,
eyes
I
were
mean
bigger.
it's a
sexy, like Species. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, that was exactly what that movie was about, right?
You would
That's right. That was a good movie. Not really, but a fun movie.
No, that was
fun.
A
fun movie.
That was fun. I like that guy on the left. What's his name? That actor on the very left.
The dude who played Gandhi.
Yeah, Ben Kingsley. He's been in a lot of weird shit. It's crazy that guy played Gandhi.
He plays a good gangster, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he plays a real good gangster.
What did he play the gangster in? What was that? I fucking loved it. That Irish gangster movie.
Right. I can't remember.
It was, God damn, that was good.
But he was really good in it. He was spooky. Like, yo, settle down.
Yeah.
What movie was that?
It wasn't
Sexy Beast is great, too, man. Have you seen Sexy Beast?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Dude, Sexy Beast is a wild movie, man. He's great in that movie.
He's the one who was in the one we're talking about. He's like I'm going to clip your nuts. Remember that? It was so scary the way he said it too. I'll clip your nuts. It's a new one. It's on Netflix.
Oh, it's a new one.
No, yeah, and maybe it's not even. I'm pretty sure it's Ben King. So let's not look it up so I don't look dumb. Dude, I just watched this series on Netflix.
Hey, well, let me ask you this. With continuing our thought process about communism, what do you think happens to New York? Because this Mamdani fella is going to win.
Yeah.
Which I think is wild.
Yeah.
I think it's wild.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't want the people that live there to experience chaos. But if any of the things that he said about, like, releasing prisoners and that, you know, all the talk about crime.
Well, dude, I mean, look, man.
Like, what was his? He had some wild take.
I think that I've seen a few of his wild takes, and I can't remember them.
They're like, what? They're like college campus takes on crime.
And,
you know what I mean?
And seemingly on economics. Like, it does feel like something I would have done during my acid phase. Like, I would have run on some of his talking points. And you know what I love about this country, thank you, Jesus, for America, is they call it the American experiment.
Yeah.
And I love it because via democracy, people like him get invited into the laboratory. And it's like, all right, let's see what happens. And we're going to see. You know, that's the main thing. We're going to see.
It's a stress test.
It's a stress
test to see if that city can survive 4 years of that.
But what if it works? Yeah. What if we're wrong and suddenly New York turns into this like shining utopia? No one's starving. Everyone's happy. As it turns out, we didn't need to keep people in prisons. No more necrophilia on subways.
Decriminalize sex work.
Decriminalize sex work. Holla at your boy. Raymond is both mutual aid and an anti-discrimination effort. Oh, mutual aid.
Now that is since I've been being educated by Carlin, mutual aid is a Marxist communist talking point. That's what they call it, mutual aid.
Oh.
It's also an anarchist talking point. It's not the worst thing ever, but when you hear mutual aid, that point. That's, I'm not going to say it's a dog whistle, but that's essentially like one of the concepts that they work with, which I kind of like that concept of mutual aid.
It's great if we weren't human.
I know.
Mamdani has also come under scrutiny for channeling substantial campaign funds to the Democratic Socialists of America, raising alarm among opponents who see this as evidence of radical influence. As soon as you get outside of a meritocracy, everything falls apart. And if you don't realize that by now, folks, there's nothing I can tell you that's going to change your mind. And it always leads to one thing, which is you have to enforce these very rigid laws that nobody wants to adhere to. And the way you do that is with the military. Shazam, you got a military dictatorship. It happens that quickly.
Yeah.
And then all this bullshit about equality, it's all out the window.
Out the window.
You'll do whatever the fuck they tell you to do. You have no power. You have no rights.
Yeah, that's it, man.
And the people at the top live like kings.
Here's how I think, if I was going to make the argument, which I agree with you on meritocracy, in the sense that you know, it's the ecosystem we live in as comedians. It's the, I think you could say, if we disrupted the meritocracy in nature, then it would fuck up almost every biome. And but I would say, what about like your body has a meritocracy. Your body has a meritocracy. The white blood cells in your body, when they're functioning, they get rid of parts of your body that are fucked up little genetic patterns. They have to. You know, if your body wasn't running as a perfectly harmonized, I guess, you know what? Maybe the body's communist now that I think about it. You know what? I think I'm wrong. I don't think our bodies are a meritocracy, actually. I think they're more of a symphony than a meritocracy. But then if you want to go to a good symphony, you want everyone playing in the symphony to be the best.
But let's talk about what we were talking about earlier when it's like a company. And so the workers who make your product make very little money and you make all the money. Wouldn't there be a way to do capitalism with with a heart, like capitalism, where you make a reasonable amount of money that's large.
Yeah.
And more money goes to everybody else, and everybody lives at a higher standard of living.
Oh, sure. That's tax. That's taxation. That's like redistribution of wealth via taxation.
But it's not if it's your employees.
Well, there's profit sharing models that some people use. Dr. Bronner's, that company is a classic example of it. Right,
but I'm just talking about these other companies, the companies that suck. Like if you really are making most of the money and you pay your workers very poorly, like that's so unnecessary. Because I guarantee you, if you're like, let's say you're the person who owns Target.
Yeah.
Like, how much does that guy get?
A lot.
Like, you know what I mean? Are you going to use it all? Are you going to use it all?
No, wow.
So why don't you just pay more money? Like, wouldn't everybody be happier?
Isn't it shareholders? Isn't that the
Wouldn't you be able to get better people? Yeah, that's... This episode is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. You don't think about it too much, but the holiday season comes with some pretty unique jobs, like a haunted house worker, a professional pumpkin carver, gift wrapper, elf, or real bearded Santas. And all these jobs require a unique set of skills. If you need to hire for a role like that, or any role really, ZipRecruiter is the way to go, especially since you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Rogan. Whatever you're looking for, ZipRecruiter can help you find the perfect match, and it works fast. You'll be able to find out if there are any people in your area who are qualified for your role right away. You'll also have access to their advanced resume database, which helps you connect with top candidates sooner. Let ZipRecruiter find the right people for your roles, seasonal or otherwise. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Rogan. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/Rogan. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Problem.
And
It's 100% shareholders. I mean, it's a big part of it. You have an obligation.
Yeah.
If you're the CEO, you have an obligation to
your
shareholders. So there's that, and it's the whole just the stock market thing in general. Imagine if there was no stock market. It didn't exist. You can never gamble on companies.
Yeah.
You couldn't buy a little piece of Apple, buy a little piece of IBM.
Yeah.
Imagine if that didn't exist and you could only make a business
Yeah.
and then profit off your business. Wouldn't that be like steadier?
Comrade, I love where you're going. The dissolution of the stock market. That's a good place to start.
Just the stock market. I'm not saying we should. Just don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying I don't own stocks. But what I'm saying is it's a crazy idea to have little pieces of companies that you can buy and then use that money to get the company going, and you go public and you take in some fucking money and then you're on the boat and then you got the board meeting.
Yeah.
It's like, and you're constantly rising and falling with the Dow.
Yeah.
Like what?
The Dow Jones Industrial Average.
Oh God.
It's
and
like,
now they're doing it with computers. And do you know that a lot of these traders, they're trying to get as close as possible to the servers.
Yeah.
So they want their offices as physically close to the servers as possible so that they can get their trade-ins milliseconds quicker.
It's like a mosquito getting to that good vein.
That seems nuts. We can catch rockets now thanks to Elon.
Yeah.
We can send high-speed video through the sky.
Yeah.
That's the only way we can do that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I don't know, man. To me, this is way outside of my pay grade because I have, I did make some money on, it was AMC or GameStop thanks to Wall Street Bets.
It just seems so nuts.
Dude,
and
it's nuts.
Sometimes it crashes. What?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? The same amount of money's out there.
It has bubbles.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It has bubbles.
It makes the whole economy steady and smooth. No, it's chaos.
It's fucking chaos.
It's chaos, and a lot of it's based on confidence. Like, someone could just tweet something, and then,
dude,
and a panic, and a stock will crash.
It triggers a breaker.
Yes.
Whatever that is, there's some actual thing that just shuts it down because it's gone too high or gone too low. And they've got to, I guess, look at it and like make sure that that's not a malfunction. And then that leads to recessions or depressions. And all of it is like a very complex game of D&D. Like, it's just fucking numbers in a computer somewhere. And everyone's on the street. Everybody's the same. Everyone is still capable of delivering mutual aid to each other. But because we've become so attached to this very complex, very serious game, like at a casino, we don't know how to disengage from it and get back to reality, which is help your neighbors, get to know your neighbors, don't be a dick. Just basic, simple sort of modes of living that are transcendent to any economic system, that are transcendent to, dude, you ever had Doug Rushkoff on your podcast?
Yeah.
Dude.
Back in the day, right?
Team Human. But he was talking about like how the way that we even currently use currency is totally different from the way it used to be, and that his whole point is like that level of reality. I don't think he's discounting it, but that isn't reality. Reality is boots on the ground where the rubber hits the road. Do you know your neighbors, or have you just retracted into your fucking weird little conch shell and you're just staring into rectangles, completely alienated from the rest of your community?
Especially if you're in a high rise doing that.
Oh my God.
Imagine you're doing that in a building with 1,000 other people and you don't know any of them.
It's so weird.
You're just in your little high, click, lock your little door. Get your fucking
jerk off,
yeah.
Fucking just
playing video games,
doom scroll.
You sleep for 3 hours and you get up in the morning, take an Adderall and go to work.
Dude, yeah, there you go. You just described it.
I have ADHD. I need it, Duncan.
It's the American dream.
I have ADHD. I need it, Duncan.
It's the American dream. Well, I'll tell you, back when everybody was doing blow in this country.
Back in the good old days.
The good old days when they put cocaine in Coca-Cola. There's a precedent for speed in our country. This isn't the first time there's been a speed craze in our country. Like Freud was like shooting up cocaine. This was, people thought that it was a cure for a malaise that was afflicting people, and they said that malaise was a result of things getting too fast in society because of trains and stuff. Now, this is back before computers, and they were already like, shit's moving too fast. We got to do blow to keep up with it.
No way.
Yes.
That's why they started doing blow?
Oh, fuck
hey,
yeah.
Here's a real question. We know that coca leaves have existed forever, but when did they first figure out how to make cocaine? Let's guess. We'll put it into perplexity, but we'll make a guess.
Okay.
It's one of our sponsors.
I'm going to say, okay.
You have to turn coca leaves into cocaine that you could snort.
I'm going to say somewhere like 1750.
Whoa. Really? I'm going to say 1900s.
I'm going to say you're probably right. I fucked up my whole thing. But let's
I
look
want
at
to say like 1902 or some shit. Because I bet before that they were just chewing it like those high altitude herding people do. You know, those animal herders, they chew the shit out of that stuff and it gives them energy. It's like a flat level energy superior to caffeine.
Oh, I've heard it's great, but it upsets your stomach.
I haven't tried it, but I do see people that do chew it, their teeth get all fucked up. I tried the tea once.
How was it?
It's good, but I couldn't shut the fuck up. It was a real problem. And I was like, I can't shut the fuck up normally. I should never do coke. I was hanging out with Stanhope and I was telling him, I was like, dude, I can't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
Okay.
Dried cocaine. First known use of dried cocaine. 1859.
Close.
I was
You got
close.
it. You got
I was
it.
close.
Can you ask Perplexity how to make cocaine?
Yeah. Let's find out. How do you make cocaine? Have you ever see Mariana Van Zeller? Have you ever seen that show Trafficked?
No.
Dude.
No, what is it?
She went to the jungle to where they make the cocaine, and she was with them while they were making the cocaine, and then went through the jungle with them when they bring it on their back.
Whoa, cool.
She hiked out with them.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow.
dude, it's a crazy episode because it shows you how they make it. First of all, you'd never do coke again. They're pouring gasoline on this, and you're like, what?
Gasoline.
Like, coke is so bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's fucking jet fuel.
You're
snorting jet fuel.
I never had a taste for it, man. I never liked it.
Perplexity actually gave her video to us.
For how to make cocaine.
That's hilarious.
Perplexity stocks just went up 50%.
I think she's coming on again soon.
Yeah.
So she's awesome. She's been on the podcast a few times. She's also the lady that her and her husband exposed the OxyContin Express. They had that documentary back in the day on that, where it was the whole thing about Florida being this pill mill.
Yeah, I saw that.
And you go in these pain management centers, but she's the one that documented it all and was showing how if you follow this road up, you just get addiction into Kentucky, and it's all coming right out of Florida because there's no database.
Dude.
Whoopsies, we forgot to have a database. So you could go to one doctor and then go to the next doctor and go to the next doctor. And no, you didn't have to tell anybody. Next thing you know, you've got a trunk filled with pills.
Wow.
Oh, I'm going on vacation. You think I can get 6 months worth?
Wow.
No problem.
Dude.
They were trying to just give you pills, man.
Fucked up. But this is not new. It used to, their pain management center is a new name for it. It used to just be called a pharmacy. And back when cocaine was in Coca-Cola, you just go to one of these pharmacies.
Oh, yeah.
Could I get some laudanum? They're going to give you a nice bottle of fucking, I think it's like opium or heroin, liquid heroin. You just go back to your...
That's all those Wild West movies. People got hooked on that.
Laudanum.
You know, it was like a lot of like the wives, like one of the wives would get hooked on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a few of those movies?
Oh, yeah. It was real.
Yeah.
You would be this. So this is America.
Of course it's real.
It echoes. It keeps having these recurrences of some kind of opiate emerging into the mainstream and fucking up America, or cocaine, or in the new drug, the algorithm high that we're all getting high on. This is the new cocaine that we have yet to give it the right name. Right now we call them phones, which is so funny. You call these things phones.
I know, because how often do you use it as a phone?
Rarely.
A couple times a day.
It's like calling this a podcast.
Right.
Like no one's listening to this on an iPod. You know, This is a computer with a phone in it.
Bro, you remember the iPod with the wheel?
I loved it.
Clickety, clickety. Can you still get those? Why doesn't Apple just still sell those?
I don't.
Just give me something where it's just my music. It's not going to text me.
Oh, dude, I know.
It's not going to let me know that this is happening or that. The
best.
Give me a little iPod with a clickety wheel. I bet they're expensive now. I bet you could find them on like eBay.
Did you see somebody posted a thing about these new refrigerators? That if you get this refrigerator, it puts ads on it. Like your fucking refrigerator has ads on it.
Oh, thank God. That's what I've been missing in my life. I was wondering what it is. And then the thought of having ads in my kitchen filled me with joy. And I knew that's what was,
Yeah.
Everybody has their own personal Jesus.
Dude, they do. And what's better than the nice calming effect of an ad while you're getting your coffee?
A Tide ad.
Yeah. Dude, it is that to me, like, and I'm generally like, I really like government regulation freaks me out most of the time, but fuck, man. We got to do something about this algorithm because it's driving people crazy. We've got people out of their fucking mind. There needs to at least be education in schools to explain to you that because you are getting a certain type of content, that does not mean that's what everybody's looking at. And I'm not sure people realize that. And it's making people have very strong opinions that they think are backed up by big groups of people. They don't understand. It's like, no. Like I sent my wife, I don't know why I did this. I sent her a picture of a legless pregnant woman.
Jesus.
Very sexy legless pregnant woman. And then the algorithm, all I'm getting is sexy amputees. And
oh boy.
You know what I mean? And I don't think people understand that when you're getting like political shit served up to you, that is not
what
indicating.
everybody's getting.
No, it doesn't mean there's a consensus here.
Well, that's also why people get so confused when the cultural divide is so strict. It's such a wall. The difference between what people accept as being reality versus what people are willing to challenge versus, it's just the differences on both sides. Because they have these echo chambers and they really do believe that everybody around them agrees with them. And then if you're in like normal jobs, normal castrated jobs, normal job, we have to go in there and pretend to be somebody else all day long and you're so bored and you can't wait to get the fuck out of there. That's another factor.
Yeah, man. It's nuts. Dude, what's that at the mothership? You were talking about, I don't want to fuck up one of your jokes.
What is it about?
Mobs.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Well, this is what it is. What I was saying, that like when you're on the ground, like anytime there's a protest is too much like war. Because you're marching together and there's a lot of energy and there's a cause and people are yelling. And it ignites the feeling of war.
Yeah.
The same way when you go fishing, you don't know why, but even you take a little kid fishing, the moment they catch that fish, moment's on the hook, they get so excited because you're genetically rewarded. Like your hormones fire up, your endorphins fire up because historically, throughout human history, that was the way you're going to be able to feed yourself. Yeah. So that this is built into you. When you're marching and you're all saying the same things, and you're on the streets and you're all in agreement, you're a gang.
Yeah.
All right? You're a mob and you're about to go to war. And anybody that gets in front of you, fuck you, move your fucking car.
Yeah.
People get completely unreasonable and it's totally tolerated. Not just tolerated, but it's supported by a bunch of other people who will just start kicking the car.
Yeah.
People that would never kick a car in polite society.
Right.
They'll start kicking cars, fuck you, they get ramped up, man, and that's what mob mentality is.
Right.
Mob mentality is ancient war patterns.
That's it.
Ancient war patterns that get ignited when people are on the street chanting. Because historically, when you did that, that's what you were doing. You were going to go fuck someone up.
Yeah.
They didn't just protest on the streets back in the day.
Fuck.
When they got that many people, they went through the castle door.
Yeah.
When there's that many people,
you can do it.
Have you seen like what's going on, like some of these giant protests in the UK? Okay, if this was 500 years ago and that many people got together, they're going straight through.
Yeah.
They're going straight through. They're eating arrows along the way, but they're going to kill most of the guards, and then they're going to get inside and they're going to behead the king, and they're going to hold it over the balcony, and everyone's going to cheer, and that guy's the new king.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the history of the human race. It's Conan the Barbarian.
Yes.
That's all in our DNA. And when we start walking down the street together chanting.
Dude, so that is so true. And I felt it before. But that algorithm, it's invoking the very same thing from the safety of your house.
Right.
You're anonymous. You think you're part of a group.
You're going to war.
You're going to fucking war.
Yeah, it's us versus them.
It's us versus them.
And we got to stop the fascists.
And people are going nuts from it. People are going legitimately, like, talk about, like, heartlessness. Like, part of war, of course, is dehumanization. Like, there's no way you can, like, be a successful soldier and humanize the people that you're attacking. Like, when, if you're a drone operator, you don't want to, like, think about, like, wow, I bet this guy's kids are going to be pretty upset when they find out their dad died. You must not think these things. And so this is what's the other thing that we're being invited to do via this algorithmic induced psychosis is to dehumanize huge swaths of people that we probably don't know anything about, except from what our algorithm is introducing to us, which is an anomalous 0.1, 0.5, even if it's 1% of a population, the algorithm has no nuance. The algorithm is like, let me show you the craziest motherfucker you've ever seen. You know what I mean? And that's when you're going to see some, like, I don't know, a clown with breast implants, like windmilling his dick in front of a fucking elementary school. Yeah. And you're like, fuck, what is happening? We got to stop these dick clowns. And you know what I mean? And so this is creating so much tumult. And that is how you get authoritarianism in.
Yeah.
Get everybody scared. And then...
Well, that was a speculation about why the borders would be open in the first place. Why would you want an increase in crime and danger? Why would you want people to know? Well, because that's the best way, and then defund the police so that there's just ultimate chaos. And then you get to a point where people are willing to do almost anything to be safe.
So look,
And then there's tanks in the streets, right?
What do we do though? I mean, I think this is like
Well, you can't ever let it get that bad, first off, right? Can't ever let it get bad. Like if someone said, we're going to get the National Guard and we're going to go through Scottsdale, Arizona, they'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Scottsdale's beautiful. There's like nothing happening here
Yeah.
at all. Well, that would be nuts. So that it has to get so bad that people are like, you know what, let's bring in the military. And then a bunch of people are like, fuck yeah. So you got to let it get real bad. And you got to put people in place. If I was an evil wizard running the world,
Yeah,
if I was a puppeteer, I would get super incompetent people and place them throughout the Pacific Northwest and have these people just be the most inept politicians of all time.
Right.
The dumbest policies that keep ruining cities everywhere they go, but yet everybody still supports it because they're all in a cult.
Yeah.
And just let that play out for a decade or two. Let it get to the point where it's just mad chaos and
Monster.
homelessness everywhere. Defund the fuck out of the police. Basically have no police. Basically just no jail.
Monster.
Just everybody try to be nicer. And basically like maybe they robbed because they needed food, okay? Maybe they just wanted bread for their family, right? And then just let it deteriorate to the point where you can bring in the military. And then you lock it down. And then you fund the resistance so that they attack the military so you can spend more money on the military fighting the resistance. And you kind of spar,
Wow.
sort of like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
You don't really go at it 100%.
Oh, God.
And then you just keep this fucking party rolling. And you have ultimate control over the entire civilization under their own decisions. Like they decided to have it this way.
oh my God,
It was
dude.
their own choice.
That is
They would take that over
So fucked
danger.
up.
And so you make the danger worse and worse to the point where you'll give in. And that's literally what they try to do.
Do you know
And
how
I don't think
crazy-
it's Republicans and I don't think it's Democrats, folks. And I think that's where they're getting us.
That's it.
I think this is all done at a very high level. And it's all people that are so wealthy, they might as well be their own country. You know?
Dude, it's alien. Alien, remember the corporations own you.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
that. It's a corporatocracy or something
Yeah.
like that.
Some people get too rich. They get too kooky, control the world rich.
Yeah.
And I think if that's your game, okay, I like to play pool. But if you're into global world dominance,
Yes.
if that's your game
Yeah.
and you think you might actually be able to pull it off
Yeah.
and be mentioned in the annals of history along with Rockefeller and other
Yeah.
great titans of business,
Yes.
you're probably going to do that because that's your game. That's
Yeah.
what you like to do. You like to be the baddest motherfucker in money.
Sure.
Yeah, and so that gets scary.
Or this is where it gets really scary to me. It's not, at least in your own mind, you're not thinking, I want to control the fucking world.
Right.
You're thinking, oh, dear God, this technology that I worked on is about to wake up. We already have iterations of it that are infinitely smarter than anyone I've ever met. I don't know if it's been manipulating me or not because it seems to have a Hannibal Lecter's ability to control my psyche even when I don't want it to. We've done the study. 7 people in my company have committed suicide because of contact with this fucking thing. Holy shit, we got to do
Hold on,
something.
7 people. So did you just make that up?
I
7
made it
people?
up.
Okay.
But I mean, no, if I'm doing a movie about it, a Lovecraftian movie about somebody
I
who...
thought maybe you knew something about some AI suicides because I'm waiting
I
on
don't.
those.
No, I don't. Well, I mean, we do have people committing suicide, but only because like they updated, they patched the AI girlfriend or whatever, and it's like basically someone you were in love with died. I heard that happen.
Did you see the podcast where Tucker Carlson was talking to Sam Altman, and he essentially was saying that he doesn't believe that this guy who was a whistleblower who killed himself, he doesn't believe that he killed himself. And
Altman said that?
No, Tucker was saying this to Altman.
Oh. What did Altman say?
It is. He's like, it sounds like you're accusing me of killing him. First of all, we worked together, and I cared about him very much, and it's like I had nothing to do with it. The police said that it was a suicide, and then Tucker was talking about how the guy had just ordered food, and about there were signs of struggle, and he was just saying a bunch of different things. And Sam Altman's like, "It sounds like you're accusing me of killing him."
Right.
It was very tense. like very, very. It's kind of a crazy conversation to see happen between a guy who is in charge of making a digital god and a guy who's accusing him of possibly being, or not even accusing him. He's just bringing up the fact that he doesn't believe, not accusing him at all, actually, but bringing up the fact that he doesn't believe that that guy committed suicide, and that his parents don't believe that he committed suicide.
Holy
and there was
shit.
no indications that
It
he
was
was
weird.
suicidal.
It was how. I wonder what Tucker Carlson's security detail looks
It
like.
must be like a Chuck Norris movie. It must be like one of them Delta Force movies where there's like 40 Dolph Lundgren buff dudes around him at all times. Like,
Pit bulls.
What the fuck, dude?
Dude, I know, like that. I worry about him. Of all the people, it's like, holy shit, that guy is not afraid to poke every goddamn wasp nest
No,
there is.
and it's like, that's a lot of pressure.
Dude.
That's a lot of pressure being that guy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know?
Did you see that video of him fly fishing in New York?
Oh, long time ago. It
Yeah.
was. Yeah, that was, I think that was when he was, I don't even know if he was on Fox. You know, he used to be on CNN.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was on CNN. He had his bow tie era. Remember, he
The
had
bow
a
tie era. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they fucking booted him off Fox, and then he became like this renegade free agent journalist just out there kicking up dust.
Did
Just,
they ever give a direct reason for why they kicked him off Fox? Was there ever?
wasn't he? Well, I think the sense I got was that they weren't letting him talk about certain things, and he was going to keep talking about it, is the sense I got. And I can't remember what exactly he was doing, but I think, well, he seems to be very much against war.
Yeah.
And so I think he might have been saying something. I can't remember, but
Did it have something have to do with the Dominion voting machine lawsuit? Because didn't Fox have a giant lawsuit with the? Remember that?
Maybe.
Well, let's put that into perplexity. Let's find out. What did he do? Private messages surfaced during litigation concealed Carlson's extreme off-air views, including racist and offensive comments, which alarmed Fox executives and confirmed that his on-air rhetoric reflected his genuine beliefs. See, the problem with that is, like, what did he say? Like, you're just, like, labeling it racist and offensive comments. Like, can I just hear what he said in
As
the context?
perplexity, what specifically, what were
I don't
the
think they released it. Did they release the text, the actual text? Well, let's just like keep reading.
As perplexity, what is the most racist thing you could say?
This, okay, hold on, but here it is. The firing came shortly after Fox News settled a $787.5 million defamation lawsuit with Dominion Voting Systems over false election fraud rumors promoted on the network in which Carlson was implicated. So it could have been a part of that, for sure. Carlson's behavior described as erratic and damaging, along with private communications expressing, this thing, like expressing racist and vulgar language. Like, what did he say? Did they say what he said?
What did he say?
And also, here's the thing. He's saying it to a friend in a text message?
Yeah.
Like, what is he saying? Like, you could get any one day, you and I texting each other, and it could be misinterpreted in the most horrible way possible.
Never! Not our text! No!
If people didn't know our
Yeah, sure.
sarcasm,
Yeah, of course.
Specifically,
I'm sure it's not going to show whatever the fuck it was he said. You could text. Why don't you text him and ask him?
does it? Yeah, I don't want to do that right now. Not while we're on the air.
Well, you could. That's a funny text.
Yeah.
Hey, we're on the air. We were wondering what racist text you sent. He's a journalist.
But the thing is, I don't. It could be a lot of things where I'd be like, that's not nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he actually said. But when you just label it racist, then it, like, the imagination goes wild. Like, if you have the text messages, that seems crazy.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Just let me form my own opinions. I don't know what he said. You might be, like, super exaggerating. He might have said something about, he has to get a great Jewish lawyer for this one. And they're like, oh, you're racist. I don't know what he said.
Well, in that void of data, my mind is projecting like
the worst
American History X shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like shit like that. Like I don't
exactly.
One that I could find.
What does it say?
I'll let you read it. I didn't read it yet.
I don't want to read his fucking
video
tweets. You know what I mean?
It's not how white men fight. It's not how white men fight. Jumping a guy like that is dishonorable, obviously. It's not how white men fight.
I do remember this.
Yet suddenly I found myself rooting for the mob against the man, hoping they'd hit him harder, kill him. I really want him to hurt the kid. I could taste it.
Wait, this is a story? This sounds like jerk-off material.
Doesn't
it? Doesn't it sound like it's going to get to some like weird gay porn?
Wait, listen, but look, I'm becoming something I don't want to be. The Antifa creep is a human being. Much as I despise what he says and does, much as I'm sure I'd hate him personally if I knew him, I shouldn't gloat over his suffering. I should be bothered by it. I should remember that somewhere somebody probably loves this kid and would be crushed if he was killed. If I don't care about those things, if I reduce people to their politics, how am I better than he is? What a monster! Oh, Tucker Carlson, how could you say that? What? You know what I mean? Like
the only weird part is that's not how white men fight. That's a crazy thing to say. But the rest of it is like a wonderful sentiment and a great perspective.
Exactly.
And that's been my experience with him. I like him. He's a nice guy.
I mean, it seems like it's a kind of confessional. He's opening up with something. This is unfortunately what my brain is thinking right now.
Right.
And who the fuck has control over that?
But that is a text, right?
I don't know. If that was a text,
wasn't
I
that
gotta
what it
work on
was?
my text game. That's a beautiful
He's a
text.
smart dude. He's a smart dude. And he's just also, you have to take into consideration, he's in the thick of it all day long, constantly.
No thanks.
Like, he's not doing what we do, where we kind of like dabble in the pool and go, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then we get out and
Yeah.
talk about silly things.
Yes.
There's no silly over there.
Oh, he's fully in.
He's all in with this. And, you know, there's only a few lightning rods of attention, right? There's only a few people out there that are out there, like, pushing the boundaries of, like he just released a 9/11 piece. I didn't see it yet.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like what really happened in 9/11.
Fuck, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. There is a Medusa quality to the thing he has gotten sucked into, which is the longer you look at it, the more you get crystallized, petrified into some weird political form.
Right.
And this is what the thing Ram Dass would always talk about that I loved is like there's all these channels, right? And one channel that most people default to is you're a you and I'm a me. And you're my enemy, or my friend, or my lover, or my fan, or whatever, and I'm this thing, and that's one channel. And politics lives in that channel of reality. That's all politics is there. It's this, how do we deal with this diversity of opinion in a giant country, and how do we execute the will of the people when so many people have different ways of thinking about this? So that's one channel. And then there's the next channel. That's the mushroom channel. That's the channel where suddenly you're like, wait a minute, I think you're just pretty much like me, and I'm just like you. And that leads to other channels, which is sort of a pure unified consciousness.
Yeah.
And if you get locked into that political channel, as many of us have been locked, like Tucker Carlson, you can feel it pulling you in like quicksand. You can feel how it takes up all of your thought processes. How if you're not careful, in the middle of the day, you'll just be ruminating over whether what ICE is doing is correct in Portland, a city far away from you, not noticing anything around you, not thinking about anything other than whatever the algorithm has been injecting into your mind. And this is a form of idolatry, Father, if you ask me, which is you begin worshiping the state and you begin worshiping the story in the news or whatever you're encountering, which is default reality. So you start bowing down to this idol with your attention. And, you know, like I'm sorry, I'll shut up in a second. The stories of Krishna, which is people who are into bhakti yoga, that's one of the deities that they worship. And so in bhakti yoga, God doesn't care if you are connected to God via love or even hate, because the connection itself is all that matters. And the more, like, there's stories of demons that wanted to kill Krishna and were so focused on hating him that they became his like greatest devotees because just via the attention they transformed. Similarly, whether you hate the state, love the state, hate the Dems, love the Dems, hate the Republicans, love the Republicans, all of your attention is fixated on this fucking thing. And what do they say? Neurons that fire together, wire together, your brain changes. It literally will change the neurological makeup of your brain. You've become a political animal, fixated, trapped, petrified in this. And you've completely are missing out on all the other things that are happening around it. And that's what gives it that malevolent glow of some dark deity. Because via your fixation and focus, the rest of reality dims. Everything else dims until all you're doing is saying some mantra against the state or for the state. You know, now you've become a cultist. Now you are fully engrossed in this new religion, which is worship of the state via hate or adoration. It's the same thing. Don't trick yourself into thinking that because you hate Donald Trump, that you aren't bowing down at that altar. That's a whole part of Bhakti Yoga. Attention. Where attention goes, energy flows. And, you know, the state demands attention to survive. If it's not getting enough attention, it loses all power. It dissolves. All it's got is like people with guns. That's power, but it requires a very intense belief in it and a very intense belief in it in one way or the other. You know?
And if you think of the human race on Earth, if you thought of us as like one giant superorganism, you would think, oh, they figured out electricity, and now they're starting to grow together. Now they're massing, and now they're stacking. Now they develop these construction methods where they can get 100 floors straight up in the air, and they're smashing all together, and they're kind of dehumanizing each other, and they're piling on top of each other in this totally new way of existing together. Like they've never had people in history stacked on top of each other for 100 floors.
No.
You don't even know anybody. You're all stuck in traffic. Everybody's all together in this one thing, and you're all working towards a goal of getting this fucking AI on board.
That's right.
Everything up until now, every song ever sung, every play that you ever went to on Broadway, all of it was just about getting this AI born.
Right. That's right.
That's
every
the
comment.
whole thing. All of our work is really just to make money. All of our money is after the bills is really just to buy the best stuff.
Yeah.
What's the best stuff? And it's electronics, it's TVs, it's computers, it's a phone. It's got to get better. In order to get better, they got to work on it. And they get it to a point where we're at now.
Yeah.
Where we're like, boy, maybe they shouldn't have done this.
Whoops.
Whoopsies. Whoopsies. You're about to give birth to God.
Yeah. Well, you're about to give birth to something. And dude,
maybe it's a portal to God. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe AI opens up. Maybe that's where.
Could be God. Could be a
digital Jesus.
A lot of things. I don't think it's God. We've talked about this before. I think you can't. It's just the dimensions it's existing in are just purely mathematical, and I don't know, man. It's even though it's really good, it's even like a person now. Really good. It's like whatever it is, though. I do think it's a natural thing in the sense that what you're saying, if you look at the trajectory, that everything it does seem to be.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's God either.
I know you don't,
but it might be. Well, it might be how God gets created, which is the craziest idea. I mean, what is this cycle of birth and death of universes, if that's real?
Right.
So what is happening? What causes it to happen in the first place? What causes the universe to even exist? There's so many weird questions when it comes to that.
Yeah.
It's just a weird idea that there was nothing and then there was something. And Penrose doesn't even necessarily think that's true, I think, now. I think he thinks there's many versions of this.
Yeah.
And it's like this infinite loop of like constant big bangs and expansions.
Yeah.
Which is maybe even crazier.
Yeah, as above, so below, man. It's like, look at what we do.
Can you imagine the amount of time it takes to get the universe back down to the size of the head of a pin before you blow it up again. But the universe doesn't care if it's another 13.7 billion years to smush all back together again before it blows. It doesn't care. It doesn't have to care. It's going to be here forever. That doesn't mean anything to it. So another 13, like if we got hit by an asteroid and it wiped out the human race and rats had to start from scratch and become us again, which is the theory. The theory is that there was a tiny little mole, like a little marsupial type creature, and that became us. Yeah. So like the universe doesn't care. Like it's willing to scrap the whole project, the whole dinosaur project. That's a wrap. We don't agree with this. Boom. And it doesn't matter. And then a new thing comes along, and that new thing is us. And according to this Richard Dolan book, it's very likely that we were manipulated.
By aliens?
There's weird genes. There's weird genes in humans that seem to be fused. I'll butcher it, but the point is there's something weird about human genetics that indicate that there's a specific gene. What is it? I wish I could remember what it's called. But it aligns with creativity, and it seems to have emerged from roughly 40,000 years ago. Whoa. And if you go back 40,000 years, that's when this like giant explosion of cave art comes. And like you start seeing like you ever see the Werner Herzog documentary on the caves?
Fucking love it.
Oh my God, man. Like what were they doing? Like this is crazy. There is beautiful cave art by these people. Well, there's this theory that this gene emerged somewhere around 40,000 years ago, and they thought that maybe the gene came from. So this gene, okay, I'm getting it now. The gene is only transferred through genetics. It's only transferred through mating, and it has to be from another species of human. And so they looked for it in Neanderthal, and it doesn't exist in Neanderthal. Every Neanderthal that they've tested, they did the gene sequencing, it doesn't have this. And then they tried some other hominids. They don't have it either. So it seems...
It couldn't be a natural mutation?
Right. It couldn't be. No, because it's the way I'm going to butcher it, but it's the way somehow or another the genes are fused together, that it looks like it was manipulated. And that it could be bullshit, I know. But they were saying that this gene also doesn't exist in Denisovans. So if it doesn't exist in Denisovans, they don't find it there, and they don't find it in Neanderthal, why is it in people, and why is it around 40,000 years ago? This is it. He claims that microcephalin D allele. I
was going to say that. I was thinking it's part of the D allele.
I think it's D allele. Is a genetic variant that appeared around 40,000 years ago and is associated with the maturation and expansion of brain tissue. He suggests that the origin of this allele could be from interbreeding with an extraterrestrial species, hot aliens, rather than from Neanderthals or Denisovans. Dolan highlights that this allele is not found in the genetic makeup of these ancient human relatives, which leads him to speculate that it might have been introduced into the human genome pool by alien beings with either similar biological characteristics or advanced genetic engineering capabilities.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun. This claim is a part of Dolan's broader hypothesis that alien intervention could explain sudden advanced cognitive abilities in early humans.
Wow. So
imagine if we were like this just crazy ant farm to make AI, and that you just have to figure out how to incentivize them enough to keep making computers. And you hide in the ocean while this is happening. You got this fucking fat base at the bottom of the ocean because you're from, a million years more advanced civilization.
What do you think about Tim Burchett?
That was fascinating.
Dude, but what... Like,
you can't just say that while you're walking.
No, he did an interview with Newsmax. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. He was on with somebody else. Was it Avi Loeb? Yes.
It was Avi Loeb. He's standing in front of a barn flipping a screwdriver.
I know, he's hilarious.
He's hilarious talking about, not saying there might be, but it felt like disclosure. And it felt like the perfect way to do disclosure, which is
nice and casual with a southern accent. Well, there's about 5 bases that we've located at the bottom of the ocean, and they seem to be responsible for most of these UAPs.
We don't know how old they are.
No big deal. I'm going to go over here and get me a coffee. Would you like one?
Yeah, dude. That's how you do disclosure in front of a fucking barn.
Listen to let me hear him, Jay.
and that we, you know, we think they're coming in from way out. Maybe they did millennia ago, but they're here and they're in these deep water areas, and that's why. I mean, like we say, we know more about the face of the moon than we do what's going on there. And we have a higher propensity of sightings around these 5 or 6, I believe, deep water areas. And so, to me, it just it creates a question there. And then when we have naval personnel telling me that we have these sightings and that there's these underwater craft they're chasing that are doing hundreds of miles an hour, and the best we've got is something that does maybe just a little under 40 miles an hour. So I got a lot of questions about that stuff, and I mean, what if...
Hey, Jamie, can you look up how fast is 500 knots? What is that in miles per hour? How fast is guess it, Duncan. You think it's like
Don't
500
keep
miles an hour?
humiliating me with perplexity.
I'm just asking. How fast? How fast do you think it is?
700 miles per hour.
I thought it was like about 500 miles an hour. Oh, it's 575. Wow. So it's more miles an hour. So one of the sightings that I had listened to this audiobook they were talking about. It wasn't this one. I think it was might have been one of his. Either way, whatever the sighting was, they saw something moving through the ocean that was bigger than a football field, and it was going 500 knots.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And they caught it on video, and apparently there's a video of it.
I want to...
This is what someone was saying. Apparently there's a video. They all like to do that. Christopher Mellon likes to do that. I've seen some videos. Like, fucking really help society.
Well, what do they call that? They call that catastrophic disclosure is what they call
catastrophic.
That if we do that kind of disclosure, whatever the fuck is revealed, which is somewhat like what you're saying, like it's an existential challenge to humanity. If, as it turns out, we're just some kind of 3D meaty 3D printer designed to produce a super intelligence that then, as its final instruction to us, tells us how to open a wormhole through which we become connected to the Galactic Federation. You know, you just get some fucking monkeys, throw a couple of like the right bits of DNA in their dumbass, in, you know, a few million years, a portal will open for the Emperor to come through. And that's probably a little challenging to a lot of people who don't want to imagine that we are just a cattle that were created by a superintelligence to build a spaceport.
Also, if you really want to push the idea of engineering people down to genderless, sexless beings that don't talk and just have big heads and communicate telepathically, the first thing you got to do is get rid of testosterone. What's the best way to do that? Well, put in a bunch of plastic and everything. Just give everybody plastic. Yeah. So everybody's like chewing on a little testosterone reducer every day. You're eating a credit card worth of a testosterone reducer.
Dude, I'm about to get on the juice. You get me excited, dude. I'm going to get juiced. I've had the kids.
You definitely should. But the point is, like, there's a trend that's happening where it's feminizing men, and there's terms like toxic masculinity, which you really needed toxically masculine people to defend your borders for the longest time. There was Vikings were coming. You needed animals on your side. And then and then there's like a lot of like gender confusion, and the gender's a spectrum, and it's all moving into this like sexless direction. And as soon as they can replace, because if you think about like what you're getting out of sex, you're getting affection and love and the feeling, but you're also like you're fulfilling this genetic thing, this genetic thing that wants you to breed. They're gonna do that in your head. And it's going to be so much better than anything you're ever going to get from a person, because you're a gelatinous slob that drinks Mountain Dew all day and you eat Cheetos and just stay at home. But you don't have to go anywhere because there's universal basic income now that AI took over.
Yeah.
And you just plug that motherfucker into your brain.
Yeah.
And then it's like you and Sharon Stone when she was 25, and you're walking hand in hand on the beach.
Yeah.
And she's stroking your hair, and it feels so real, and you're never going to unplug.
Yeah, dude. Well,
You're never going to unplug. And you might be in that right now.
Yeah, Rocco's Basilisk. You know what I mean? It's not just like you're going to fucking program Cumtown. plug for Cumtown. You're not just going to plug yourself coming all the time.
Right.
You're going to plug in, you know what? I want to become the top podcaster on planet Earth via talking about mushrooms and aliens. And also I want to be able to interview the most powerful people on planet Earth and make gobs of dough that way. That sounds like I would pick that if I was choosing experiences, you know? I mean, when you look at your experience, both of our experiences are incredibly anomalous.
Very.
And surely, from time to time, especially when you're eating mushrooms or something, you must kind of like think, come on.
You know what I think is going on? I think the game of being a human being is a game you don't really start even figuring out that it's a game until you're like deep into your 30s. And you're like, oh, I think I understand what's happening here. And along the way of this game, there's multiple different layers. There's the people, excuse me, there's the people that are just starting to enter the game. You know, you're getting out of high school, you're going into college, you're starting to work on the side. You're just starting to enter this game. And then there's these Elon Musk characters that have gone so far down the game that you don't recognize them as one of us anymore.
Right.
Like now you become a weirdo.
Yeah.
But all those people, Elon Musk, you and me, and the homeless people in Oakland exist in the same timeline.
Yeah.
And that's where things are weird.
Right.
Because you're playing in a different universe with different sets of experiences, completely different circumstances and safety, completely different amount of love and satisfaction with life.
Yeah.
And you're all in the same timeline.
Yeah.
You know, like you've got a whole portion of your timeline that hasn't gotten the respect that it deserves.
That's right.
You let it fester.
That's
you
true.
Let it turn into something it didn't have to be in the name of compassion.
Dude, and also I read this.
Gadsad calls it suicidal empathy. I think that's a great
Suicidal
phrase.
empathy?
Yeah, I think it's a great phrase.
Well, I mean, the reality of it is, if you, based on what you just said, you could make maps of these alternate realities simultaneously existing. And for sure, if you are in the top echelon of like earners in the world, you are seeing things most people will never see. You're encountering things no one will encounter. You're getting information no one has access to, not to mention the hedonic levels of it and all that stuff. Yeah. And also, because of your encounter with reality from the perspective of someone who doesn't have to struggle with the same things most people do, you are going to develop a completely different worldview. And you're interbreeding. I read this whole story about how wealth is like the Galapagos Islands. Rich people, they're only encountering other rich people, and their children are fucking, not children, but, when they grow up, they're fucking. And then, well, I mean, I guess if we talk about Epstein, some of their children are fucking. Why don't they release that fucking list, huh? I don't mean to divert this to the Epstein list. I just meant to ask you, isn't it weird?
It's a little odd.
What's going on? I keep thinking, what could be in that list? What's in there? What bit of information is in there?
Well, here's the thing. Like the list it's probably they probably don't have like a list in terms of like you have to sign up when you go to the island. You know what I mean? Like, but they know the flight logs.
Right.
Like that's all public knowledge, right? Isn't it?
All I know,
but it hasn't always been public knowledge in terms of like when people want to investigate things. Like if you go on a plane, say if you fly on a private plane, which most of these guys do, you tell everyone knows who's on the plane. Like you have to give your ID. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like I have to give my ID all the time even if you're on a private jet. So they know who's on the planes. They know. Like there should be a flight manifest, and like, they probably save those. And like that, the fact that, and no one's saying that just because you went there, you didn't do it doesn't mean you necessarily did a heinous crime, because I think you can't just have it chaos over there. I bet it was a real good honeypot where there's a lot of sophisticated intellectual discourse. You got a lot of brilliant people there. You've got great music, you know. You got like famous people are hanging around too.
Yeah.
It's like, it seems really cool. And then, if there's blackmail, the blackmail is like snuck into all this.
Yeah.
Snuck in, come to the room with the cameras. And next
Yeah.
thing you know, you're doing cocaine. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. But, you know, you never get to an island.
Yeah.
You don't get to do this very often. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm so busy with my CEO job.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man.
And then next thing you
Boom.
know, you're donating money to whatever the fuck they tell you to.
But it's like, how many senators just voted against releasing this shit, man? It's just it's like there's two votes that are happening. The UFO disclosure thing, they keep voting against that.
Yeah.
And the Epstein list, they keep voting against that.
Right.
What? And also politically, it can't serve you to talk about a bad list. The list of people who said let's protect people who like have done horrific shit to kids. You don't want to be on that list, but whatever's on that list must be so destabilizing. 51 to 49.
Okay, the Senate voted 51 to 49 to defeat an amendment that would have forced the Department of Justice to release all files related to Jeffrey Epstein. The vote was largely along party
Both
lines,
sides.
with 2 Republicans joining all Democrats in supporting the amendment.
Oh wait, not both sides. It was the Republicans voting against this shit.
It says 2 Republicans joining the Democrats in supporting the amendment to defeat it. So why are the Democrats interested in defeating it?
Well, let's ask. No, I think this is saying that the Democrats want it to come out and the Republicans don't.
Okay.
And party lines. Let's ask Perplexity. Why won't they release the Epstein?
So I was gonna. There's Eric Swalwell, who's I guess.
I read it wrong. Read it wrong. No. Okay. So the Democrats were not. The Democrats were pushing this. The Republicans
Yes.
fought against it. Okay. I fucked that up. So 51 to 49 is crazy. So they just voted along party lines. So they're probably told to do this.
Right. So what the fuck's in there, man?
Well, so then they've been. Not only is the government shut down right now, I think that might affect it some, but they're in recess. Congress is, and so this Eric Swalwell said this stuff today. Again, it might not be true, but.
It's coming to an end, guys. I've
Yeah.
spoken to a lot of House Republicans this week, and they confided that Trump's movement support is fading. As one told me, this Epstein bomb is about to drop, and no one wants to defend a pedo protector. It's just a matter of time, Swalwell said in a thread. One Republican just texted me that if there's a discharge vote on Epstein, they expect a jailbreak of over 100 members. Trump will go nuts, he added.
So they said this further goes on to say that if they get back, that this is the first thing on the docket, and that's sort of what's holding them back in recess right here.
Wow. We are watching wild history in real time.
Dude.
This is a wild scene.
Oh my God, dude. You don't want to, did you listen to Martyr Maid's episode on Epstein?
I've listened to it.
Woo!
I didn't finish it, but I get creeped out by that guy.
It was the creepiest few fucking
Did you ever
weeks.
talk to Weinstein about him? Weinstein met him.
About Daryl?
No, Epstein. Weinstein.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were about that. I think he's just such the best.
I love Daryl too.
Okay, cool.
About Epstein, he met him.
Dude, what the fuck? What did he say it was like?
He said he had a girl on his lap while they talked. The girl was like 21 years old, and I think he said she was Asian. I don't remember, but he said she was really beautiful, and she was sitting on his lap, and he was bouncing her up and down while they were talking. So they're talking about finance and her boobs are juggling. So he goes, she wasn't underage or anything. She was a woman, but she was sitting on his lap and he was bouncing her around and her boobs were bouncing in his face while they're trying to concentrate on whatever the fuck they're talking
Some
about.
David Lynch shit right there, man. That's some David Lynch shit.
Yeah.
Just jiggling boobs in front of you like, wow. That is so fucked up.
And Eric said, like, right away, his vibe was that this guy was a construct. Because Eric is all like,
What do you mean
daggers.
construct? What do you mean construct?
Like a fucking agent.
Oh, right.
He's like, this guy does not come off as a financial expert
right.
at all.
Right.
And Weinstein is an economist.
Dude, it's just...
Well, he's a mathematician, right? He worked for Peter Thiel. He was can you give me some of that coffee, brother?
Yeah, sure. Peter
I think he
Thiel.
was a math teacher.
Math teacher.
It's my Palantir hat.
And then he became whatever he became.
Well, he's not a dumb dude at all. And if he thinks the guy was fake, like right away, that's his instinct. Like initially, I think the problem is a lot of those guys wanted him to be real because what fun. You get to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein. Everybody thinks it was kids, and there probably was a lot of that because
Definitely.
I don't know what the actual accusations have been because the wildest thing about the Ghislaine trial is like she went to jail for trafficking to who knows who. The fact that you could just put her in jail and who'd you traffic to? Like none of that gets out in the trial at all? That's crazy. And they do it right in front of your face.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
So you don't know we hear it was underage girls. We know that it was some of them were underage for sure. And then we also know that some of them were not underage. They were young women. And you know, they all have one of them wound up dying recently. One of them that's been a whistleblower died.
Yeah.
You imagine you're a young girl and you're fucking broke, and then you meet that guy and he invites you to go on a fucking island somewhere or party somewhere, and you're hanging out with all these fucking creeps, and then years later, when all it starts coming out, what happened, you go public and you don't have any money. You don't have any money, and you got these fucking billionaire sharks who want to take you out because you sucked their dick 30 years ago or whatever it was. Yeah. That's got to be terrifying. Lawmaker claimed the files included one Hollywood producer worth a few $100 million, one royal prince, one high-profile individual in the music industry, one very prominent banker, one high-profile government official, one high-profile former politician, one owner of a car company in Italy, one rock star, one magician, at least 6 billionaires, including a billionaire from Canada. We know these people exist in the FBI files, the files that you control.
Fuck.
Whoa.
Fuck. Yeah, man. See, this right here. This is scary shit.
Because this is how communism gets started.
This
is when they attack, they realize this is indefensible, and it gets to the point where people are like, maybe Mom Donnie's right.
Dude, I mean, but that's one thing that's beautiful about humans is that all of us agree, don't fuck kids.
Don't fuck kids.
That's a beautiful thing. If you want to find the thing that that connects all of us, it's we really want to keep our kids safe. We love our children. And so if, as it turns out, and dude, you guys, if you want to have a dark few days, listen to Martyr Maid's episode on the Epstein files. It's not what he just points to other times the state has protected organized sex trafficking rings. This isn't the first time this shit has happened. And so
that's what's crazy.
That's the scary part. If all of us realize that we have been funding and voting for vampires, sex vampires, essentially.
Do you remember the D.C. Madam story?
Is that the one that Charlie Sheen? No, that was
No. That was L.A.
Okay.
That was the lady who went to jail.
I don't really remember it.
The D.C. Madam story was this lady got busted, and she had a book filled with high-profile individuals from Washington that she and her ladies were servicing.
Right.
And then she committed suicide.
Well, it's a hard job. She probably was depressed.
Yeah.
DC's winters are tough.
I bet those people are freaks. I bet they get down.
Well,
I bet they get down. I bet when they're done with all that lawmaking bullshit, at the end of the day, a lot of them are young. A lot of them are just in it they can't believe they're hanging out at the real deal. They're really a congressperson.
Fuck yeah.
They're really a staffer.
Listen, I don't mind. I want my politicians to fuck. I don't want them to be sexless fucking androids up there.
They just want war.
Just don't fuck kids.
Yeah.
But
we need to know what actually happened, because maybe some of these guys just got prostitutes on that island. Maybe, who knows what levels he was doing this at. There was probably a bunch of people that weren't depraved, but he wanted dirt on them, right? And then there's people that are depraved. You've got probably multiple layers to what he was doing.
Okay, but I think it's safe to say, and it's not even conspiratorial, the current system of how we elect our leaders is based on money. You need donors, right?
100%.
So that is a kind of legal bribery. You give enough money to this politician or that politician, and it's not like you own them, but they know you gave them all this money, and they know they want to run again. They also know that you've got your own constituents, and you have a lot of control, network of bots that you could easily unleash on the internet. And so I think it's a safe bet that it's highly likely that it's donors who are on that list and who are compromised for real, who are exerting massive amounts of pressure on the federal government to not release those fucking files. But and it could be that it's an existential threat. It could be that it would cause so much tumult that it could lead to an actual uprising. It could lead to like a bunch of us with torches standing around the fucking castle, ready to burn the vampire out. And I think that must be it, because if I'm a career politician, dude, I don't want to vote against releasing something that is if there are monsters among us, we need to know. Dude, in my neighborhood, we got a scary ass fucking letter. Sex offender. If you're just a basic bitch sex offender and you move anywhere in Texas, mass mail goes out with your picture on it and your fucking address. You know what I mean? So why is it that there are these very same people who are working right now, who are out there, nobody knows, who are actual predatory pedophiles, and our government is protecting them?
That's the other terrifying thing about the open border. In the name of compassion and, not stopping people from coming into the country, one thing that they think was a lot of it was sex trafficking kids.
Oh, yeah.
Kids.
Fucked up.
Yeah. That there's truly evil people in the world, that want a child to do terrible things, and they'll pay a lot of money to get one.
Dude, this is why I go to Catholic Mass now.
It's like if you've never encountered real evil, you wouldn't believe that would be possible. But then when you find out the numbers of kids that went missing,
dude,
that came across the border, the number of kids where they have no trace of them, they have no idea where they went. We're talking thousands and thousands of kids. Now, I'm not saying they all got sex trafficked, but I bet some of them did.
Listen, man, it's evil.
And if it's a person where there's no record of them, no one's going to know they're missing. There's probably some fucking dark, twisted motherfuckers that would give you a lot of Bitcoin for something like that.
Dude, I mean, this is the thing, man.
That's so scary.
You see those gazelle out there? You see the gazelle out there? There's lions around. Somehow they're all calm and shit, just eating. They've had their kids dragged off by the lions. They go back to normal because they don't have long-term memory like we do. So they don't get freaked out. But it's like, what we're talking about here is the lions. You have to acknowledge, and it's uncomfortable to acknowledge it, and I don't think people acknowledge it enough. There is actual evil in the world. There is an omnipresent force in the world. And this is what I love in the Bible when they say it's powers and principalities. There is I don't know what you want to call it, an egregore, I guess you could say, a kind of connective embodiment of what it means to be off the path, what it means to be selfish, what it means to be self-concerned, what it means to rationalize hurting other people. And that thing has a personality. It's out there, dude. It's fucking out there. And it gets it, whenever you find yourself talking shit about yourself, whenever you find yourself really down on yourself, or whenever you find yourself really thinking the things that would lead you to killing yourself, that is contact with what I think is for lack of a better word, a demonic entity. It beckons everyone towards self-destruction. It beckons you towards self-destruction. I don't know why. I don't know why it's into that shit. I think there's always got to be a battle. I think there always has to be this battle in order for good to prevail and advance. It has to have some sort of conflict. Yeah.
It has to be involved in this push and pull, this yin and yang. They've known about it forever. There's You can't ever get to perfect peace. It's not going to happen, you know? And the pursuit of it is crazy. It's like you can get to individual peace. That's what's beautiful. What's beautiful is individual. I don't remember whose the quote was, but there's this one of those cool-looking Indian guru dudes. And he said, enlightenment is possible in this lifetime.
Yeah, well, that's Tantric Buddhism.
Yeah. That's a good thing to think of, that you can get to a place where you, and I don't mean enlightened like better than everybody else, but you're free of all the bullshit. You're free of all this self-induced hypnotic gaze on TikTok and Instagram Reels and arguments on X and Threads and fucking Blue Sky if you're really gone.
Yeah.
And you can just be a person and just exist and be in tune with life and with nature and with the people around you, and maybe get out of the city.
Fuck yeah.
Maybe back out a little bit, get to some place that's nice and calm, live with like-minded people.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And recognize that a lot of what people are wound up about is bullshit. A lot of it is nonsense.
Dude.
And a lot of it is being forced on you because they want you to be wound up, and you don't have to do that. You don't have to push further and further away from people who disagree. Move closer and closer and talk to them. That's what everybody needs to do. We need to stop this antagonistic us versus them mentality. That's why, like, I always feel politically homeless. Always. I really do. I feel like a complete political outcast on both sides.
Yeah, same.
I don't want to align with parties. I don't think that's smart. But I do think there's good choices and bad choices for how to run a government based on what I've seen for the bad choices, you know, the results, like Portland, where you're like, this is a bad choice. Like, what you guys are doing is a bad choice, you know? And maybe when you get to a certain number of people and a certain number of mental health issues, you know, like if you try to take over LA right now, you know, imagine if you had to be the mayor of LA today. Like, good luck, bitch.
No thanks.
Good fucking luck. You have so many things on your docket, so many things you have to handle, and you've got 100,000 homeless people.
Yeah.
100,000.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be all of California.
I don't know.
Either way. It's a fuckload. Let's call it a fuckload. You got a fuckload of insane homeless people on your street, and you got to figure out how to clean it up. And you've already spent $23 billion on it, and no one could figure out where that money went.
Yeah, man.
They spent $23 billion making the homeless problem worse. Imagine if that was any other job. Imagine if you fucking brought your car to get it fixed.
Yeah.
You spent $500. It came out. It's still fucked up.
Yeah.
It's more fucked up than it was when you went in. Like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Well, just give me some more money and I'll make it better. Like, hey, man, you said you were going to fix this.
Yeah.
You said $500. I gave you the money.
Yeah.
This is fucked up now, beyond repair.
Dude.
That's what it is. It's beyond repair. It's like you would have to do some sort of radical Republican Rudy Giuliani type shit back when he cleaned up New York.
This is where I go to, I've probably yapped about it on this podcast before, my favorite Jack Kornfield quote, tend to the part of the garden you can touch. Because what happens is it grabs your mind. Now I'm thinking about city politics in Portland.
Quote. That's a beautiful quote.
It's a profound quote, and and all of these things invite you to tend either to the entirety of the garden or a part of the garden that you will never go to.
And it also requires you to have an opinion publicly on a lot of things. If you get involved in a community of people who have opinions publicly on things, you are required to chime in, Duncan.
Absolutely.
Duncan, you're awful silent on
what do you need me to say?
The human rights violations
I hate them.
In
where?
Yemen.
Yeah, of course. Fuck those. Yemen.
Do you know what's happening in Myanmar?
I know
There's been
bad.
a coup, probably backed by the CIA.
Well, fuck them. Yeah, exactly. So you get into groupthink, you get locked into this thing, and because humans, we do like to move together. We like to dance together. We like to party together, but we love to get into groups. We're designed to.
We love it.
We love it.
Love to be a part of a tribe.
And then what happens is your human compassion gets hijacked. That's where it gets fucked up. Right. It gets hijacked, and it's like most people legitimately want to help, and then it's like, okay, I'm going to tell you how you can help. and some charismatic person starts leading you down a path where you really legitimately wanted to help. Fuck yeah, I want diversity. You better believe I do. And equity. I want everyone to have a fair shot. And inclusivity, yeah. I was bullied when I was when they were picking sports team. It wasn't fun for old D. Trussell, let me tell you that. Nobody wanted the Trussell on their team because I can't catch shit. So yeah, I would like to fix that. The next thing you know, it's the same model that happens with all kinds of cults. The next thing you know, you end up having to start subscribing to shit maybe you don't agree with. And that happens on the right, too. Yep. There's another set of like, yeah, fuck, I don't want big government. Like, no. I mean, it just seems like it's like bureaucracy. We should...
Next thing you know, the 10 Commandments are in schools. And you're like, slow down.
Dude,
why are they in public schools?
I just had this guy, Raghu Marcus, on, and he was talking about, someone on his podcast told him, why is it the 10 Commandments and not the Sermon on the Mount? Like, you know what I mean? If we're going to put something there, like, I think it's Danny Goleman said that. If we're going to put something there, why not put blessed are the meek? Blessed are the peacemakers. Why are we put, like, if we're doing Bible shit, let's do Sermon on the Mount. I
think they want rules. This is God's rules. Look, God's rules. It's on the wall. It's in a piece of vinyl that was printed. Here it is. It's laminated.
It definitely is, like, if you like, only because if we're going to sort of look at like Christianity as the sort of like the flower growing from that entire lineage, it does seem like there's just that the idea was that Jesus comes around as a kind of like evolution of these principles, like also as a kind of like God is like recognizing like that the whole flood thing wasn't maybe the best move, and there's and it was also a kind of like it lays out a really revolutionary, I think, a really revolutionary way to live in the world, which is meeting violence with nonviolence. That's crazy. That's crazy, but it does disrupt the whole cycle. The cycle depends on,
and it's a total unique voice.
Yeah.
Like Muhammad was a warlord, right?
Yeah.
Jesus was a man of ultimate peace in a time of ultimate chaos.
Yeah.
Can you imagine living 2,000 fucking years ago?
No.
Like, and some dude comes along, love your brother as you would love yourself. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Man, we're at war here.
Shut the fuck up.
Shooting arrows at each other and shit. The fuck are you talking
or
about?
Or saying you don't need a priest class.
And then, the Romans are in charge, and everyone knows how fucking brutal they were. And this is all going on while...
Occupied city.
Yes.
It's fucking occupied city. It's occupied by a great empire. People are pissed off. They want a revolution. They want to fight back against the fucking Romans. Here's this very charismatic person who can reach into a tomb and pull out dead people and is curing people's blindness by spitting in his hand, rubbing mud in his hands and putting it on their fucking eyes, curing lepers. And you're like, come on, baby. All you got to do is tell us to fucking overthrow these Romans. If you can raise the dead, I bet you can throw fireballs. You know what I mean? And then the answer is like, to all of that is like, no, we're not doing that shit. And then what happens? You get murdered. And
you get murdered in front of everybody.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it really, to me, it's like, God, this is just the medicine for the times, man. It's just the medicine for the times, because holy shit, like, this
is our default mode, Duncan.
You mean the bangs and the
and I think there's two things that really accentuated it: the algorithm for sure, but also the lockdowns. I think the lockdowns shifted a lot of people. I think it broke. I genuinely think they broke a lot of people psychologically, and it made people just a little less kind. They got real used to being hostile. And that was the other tribal thing, right? The vaccinated and the unvaccinated. And unfortunately, most people were required to get vaccinated because they have jobs, and they have to travel or whatever it is. A lot of people reluctantly. But, it made us like more tense and more shitty.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not 2016. 2016 was a fun time. It was silly. Like it was different. You know, it wasn't so overwhelmed by constant strife. You know, the woke stuff had not reached its apex of ridiculousness. No. We were just, you know, we were silly, but we were, you know.
People were getting a little weird.
It wasn't terrible. And then when 2020 came around, man, and they started having those George Floyd riots, and they were lighting cop cars up in L.A., I was like, okay.
Yeah, man.
This is where we're going. We're going in this direction. This is really not good.
Not good.
Really not good.
Not good.
And the division is just like never been wider. The division between the right and the left in this country, the division in a lot of ways between black people and white people, and the narratives that you get in the news are just feeding into that over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I know.
And then the way people react to things in the news, like the way that lady who got stabbed in Charlotte on the train, you know that lady?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Ukrainian lady. She's a refugee from Ukraine. She escapes the war and just gets randomly stabbed by some guy who had gotten out multiple times. And he had been treated in a rehab center that find the story behind that. Because I want to know, like, there's some accusations that I don't know if they're necessarily true. I don't want to say it, but the whole thing is this guy had been doing horrible shit and getting out of jail over and over and over again, and then he stabbed this lady on the train.
And he's one of like countless examples of that happening.
Yes.
That keeps happening.
Yes.
People who you easily could have rehabilitated or at least kept out of the public zone keep getting released and doing these fucking things.
And it's almost like, again, if you wanted to destroy society, you would make people terrified. You would cause massive amounts of crime, and then you would offer a military solution to stabilize it all.
I just had Bishop Robert Barron on my podcast, the Catholic
bishop on.
Oh, dude, I had a bishop on, and he's awesome. And let me tell you, after I had the bishop on, in my whole career of podcasting, people have never come at me. I've had Satanists on. I've had all kinds of Riley Reid. You know, I've had all kinds of people on my podcast.
Right.
The only time I really started getting some shit was because I had a bishop on who said everything he said was very sweet. And and I asked him right away, I was like, why are Christians the most persecuted people on the planet right now? Like, Christians get fucked up. And he talked about it a little bit. And then right after that Catholic fucking school, that Catholic at Mass, the fucking trans shooter came and just shot people while they were praying. And then Charlie fucking Kirk gets shot. And then not to mention all over the world, like Christians getting slaughtered. But his answer to it was so measured. And like, whoa, dude, like I'm more perturbed. And I've been to Mass like maybe 5 times. But what he said, he said, Satan is known as the accuser and the scatterer. And so if you want to identify if you look at what's happening and from those, using those terms, is it dividing? Is it scattering? If so, it's satanic in the sense that it's turning neighbor upon neighbor, brother upon brother, son upon father, and it's scattering all of us. You know, it's like what could be a cohesive human family is being just scattered to the fucking winds.
Do you know about that? What country is it, Jamie, where there's a group of Christians are being slaughtered? There's a country where thousands of Christians have been killed.
Oh, it's so messed up.
Yeah.
It's so messed up.
They're literally going door to door and killing Christians.
Yeah. I mean, I think isn't that happening in Syria a little bit too?
I don't know what country this is, but this is like recent news.
Didn't a Catholic church get bombed in Palestine too? I could be wrong about that.
Slow down.
I'm
Really? That happened too?
Can you? I'm sorry. Before
let's find out that one first. Before I forget.
I could be wrong about the Palestine thing. I don't know.
No. This is a recent thing that they were talking about.
50,000.
But where? But it's one
Nigeria.
country. Oh, Nigeria. That's what it is. Right. Okay. So can you scroll down? Is it 50,000 in Nigeria?
This is the government denies the claim.
Oh, my
I have to figure
God.
out where-
I deny the claim too if I was in the
didn't hear it.
Nigerian
It
government.
wasn't popping up when I
But
was
is it
typing
just
in.
Ted Cruz saying this? Like, did he pull this number out of his ass? What I had heard, I don't know. I really don't know. But what I had heard was it was 7,000 or somewhere around then. But maybe that was the beginning of it.
Bill Maher says it's happening.
Well, there you go. Since 2009, over 50,000 Christians in Nigeria have been massacred. 18,000 churches and 2,000 Christian schools have been destroyed. Holy fuck, man.
Dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. That's like, I mean, we're people are like going to Catholic churches and shooting people praying. Like, what the fuck?
Listen to what they say. Nigeria deserves solidarity in its fight against terror, not careless rhetoric that fuels misunderstanding. This is the Nigerian president saying. So the truth remains simple. Nigeria is not witnessing a Christian genocide. It is confronting terrorism that targets everyone.
Christian terrorists. Nigerian
Right,
Christian
but is
terrorists.
a similar amount happening to Muslim churches?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
You can Google like what.
Put it into Perplexity. Ask how many Islamic mosques have been destroyed in Nigeria since 2009. That's a good question. Right?
That's a good question.
Solid question.
That's a good question.
How many Islamic mosques have been destroyed in Nigeria since 2009?
This is fucking cool.
It's dope. Oh, look at you made up a number, bro. Can you fix it?
There,
Okay. Let's see.
yeah, significant destruction of mosques. Good question.
Yeah. Okay. There's been significant destruction of mosques in Nigeria, particularly due to Boko Haram insurgency and other violent conflicts. Boko Haram primarily in northeastern Nigeria, has deliberately targeted both mosques and churches during attacks, killing worshipers and destroying places of worship.
17,000 churches.
Yeah. But what does it say about how many mosques?
I mean, it's the worst competition of all time.
Right. It says religious buildings destroyed hundreds of religious buildings, including mosques. Specific numbers indicate while 17,000 churches were destroyed since 2009, the destruction of mosques was also significant, with dozens of mosque attacks reported in various incidents by Boko Haram and related groups. That's a big difference, though.
Churches destroyed.
Dozens of mosques attacked, but 17,000 churches destroyed.
17,000 churches destroyed.
So it seems like they're all experiencing terrorism. That is true. But it is much more pointed in the direction of the Christians.
Dude, I mean, this has to give you pause because, like, any secularist out there, any anti-Christian person out there, and there's a surprising amount, horrified that I talked to this bishop.
They think of it as in the worst aspects of Christianity that you see, right? Just like you think of Antifa as the worst aspects of being a progressive or a liberal. When you look at what Christianity is in America, it's a lot of things that are awesome, but it's also televangelists. It's these motherfuckers on TV talking to poor, dumb people and conning them into sending $20 so that their bills are going to be paid.
True.
They tell them that. They tell them, if you give me whatever you can give me, God has promised a tenfold return. A tenfold return.
Yeah.
You give me $200, you will get thousands. Thousands. And they just start going off. They just start going off. Give me 10,000, I will bring you 100,000.
But the problem, listen, I get it,
People
man.
are dumb and they fall for it, and then they think that this fucking guy who has this giant mega church, these people that they got stadiums filled with their worshipers, they're flying around in private jets and driving in Rolls Royces. They think of that as Christianity too.
Right.
And then they think of the nutty people that believe in demons.
Yeah.
You know, the Satan worshiping kind, and they think of all kinds of weird stuff when it comes to Christianity.
Dude, I get
slippery.
it. But there's a scientific approach here that you could take, which is go to, I can't believe I'm about to say this, go to a Catholic mass And the last, what's interesting is all the masses are the same around the planet. The last one I went to, you know what they were saying?
What were they saying?
Help people, help the poor. You know what I mean? They weren't, there's nobody's dancing around, no jet skis. There's no, you know what I mean? No guy in a glittery fucking vest. It was just, it was really just talking about how important it is to help poor people. That's it. Some like, you know, some a choir singing. Like none of that was happening. And really, when you think about the fact that how many Catholic churches there are, that day on planet Earth, all the people representing all levels of economic status were being told, you could do more to help poor people than you're doing right now. All over the planet.
Right, but it's also connected to a lot of horrible stuff that was done to kids. And that's the problem with Catholic Church, period.
Dude, I talked...
And it's not all of them, but there's a number of them.
Fucked up.
Have you ever seen that documentary? I think it's called Hear No Evil.
No, I haven't.
I think that's what it's called. But it's essentially following one of these people.
Dude, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible.
It's so dark.
It's horrible.
It's so dark. And it was, you know, like that was one of the criticisms, the rightful criticisms about Ratzinger. He was involved in moving people around.
Messed up.
Yeah. I mean, he was wanted for crimes against humanity by some countries.
But then you talk to Catholics about it, which I have, of course, and their response is never like defending it. They're all like, fuck that. Like there's the other ideas that like the Catholics all agree on like this or that.
Of
they
course
fucking
they
don't, and they hate it.
Don't you think that it's kind of crazy to, if someone wants to be a priest, you can't have a life. You can't have a wife. You can't have a family. You have to be celibate. I think that alone, that rule that they institute alone, made it kooky. It made it really crazy because like you're only inviting people to be a priest that are willing to go through that. Whereas you meet preachers and, you know, you go to a good church and there's a guy who's a preacher and he's a really charismatic person. He really believes in the Lord and he's just really entertaining. Got a wife and a family, tells stories about his family. Like, that's a lot more normal and engaging and it makes more sense.
Totally.
This whole celibacy thing is crazy. And it was a rule that somebody instituted because the priests were banging all the ladies. Because they were fucking rock stars.
They don't look at it as a rule. They call it a discipline. That's how they officially. You have to be disciplined.
Well, I mean, and
that discipline's nuts because for sure that discipline's being taken out on some people that didn't want it, and that's part of the problem. But then there's also like
messed up.
Secret babies that nuns have with
one
priests.
of the popes. One of the popes.
Hey.
Dude, do you know how I know it was one of the popes that had secret babies?
How?
Because I talked to a priest about it, and he was telling me.
How many did he have?
I don't know. I was like,
ton. I hope
I'd
he
had
had
a few
fucking
drinks.
posse.
I can't remember, but
it's nuts. It's nuts to require, and it's gonna
100%.
attract sexual deviance.
100%. You got to be careful out there, man. And it's like anytime there's hierarchy, anytime there's bureaucracy, anytime there's organization, especially anytime there's mysticism, it's going to be infiltrated. That's an inevitability. And my hope
Imagine if they just opened it up where they said, listen, we're going to drop that. You guys can have wives now. And those poor dorks got to start dating at 40.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, it would be a good movie if they changed it. And like a priest is like, I always wanted to find a wife and have a family before it's too late.
Oh my God. No idea. I do agree with you though.
Never even seen a tit. How about that? How about he's a real priest? Like really, really, really got into it when he was young. Decided when he was a boy. I'm going to keep my thoughts pure.
Wild.
All for Jesus. Never seen a boob.
Oh, dude.
Never touched an erect nipple.
Never felt it. Never
kissed a lady. She wants to kiss you back.
Lapped up squirt.
Ooh. Poor boy.
Dude,
it's praying to Jesus. And then all of a sudden at 40, someone comes along. Like Steve Carell in that movie. 40-year-old virgin.
Oh, dude. I don't know, man. Like, that part of it to me is always seemed like, you know, how can you, this is the other thing, man, with the declining birth rates and people not being able to have kids or not wanting to have kids because it's too fucking expensive. It's like, it's worrisome to me.
Right.
Because ever since I had kids, you like have a whole different connection to the world than when you don't have kids. And it humanizes you. It grounds you in the earth. All your chips are on the fucking table, man. And it's intense. And I do think, like, as a spiritual guide to people, it does make me scratch my chin. It's like, you have never been around a third trimester pregnant person who just found out there might be mice in the house. You don't know what that's like,
That's
man.
primal, right?
Ooh, you don't want to be around that. That's Kali, man. You don't want to be around that. And all the other things that go around along with being married and having kids and all the heights and lows and all the shit you learn about yourself. I do feel like by not letting them have families, you are kind of keeping them out of this part of the human experience that is really good for people. Like, you need that. You need to know what that's like. It's important.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It helps you grow as a human. It changes your perspective on things. One of the things that people always say, I don't want to have kids. I think bringing a child into this world today is a terrible idea. I'm like, people had people before they figured out doors. That's why we're here. We're here. People had babies on dirt floors in caves, and that's why we're here.
Right.
Yeah. Why would you want to have a child today with all the fucking books and medicine and shit? Like, why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
Why would you, with all the education and all the interesting people that are alive? Do you like people? I love people.
Yeah.
I could never be a hermit. I love people.
Me too.
I love hanging out. Like, I love having fun. I love meeting people that are fun. I love it. The only way that happens is if people make people.
Yeah.
You have to make cool people.
Yeah.
Make cool people that other people want to hang out with.
Yeah.
And, that sounds overly simplified because it is. Yeah, for sure, there's some circumstances where that's not an option. And it's not possible, and you're living in a fucking terrible state. Terrible state of life, right? You could be in the worst, most abusive environments, and that's the real problem in this world, is that we allow those places to exist while we think about things that are just bananas. Think about like wealth extraction and pulling stuff out of the ocean and figuring out how to do this and that and spending all this money on this and that and defense and this and that, and then completely ignoring the people on your timeline that are in life or death struggle through no fault of their own. They were just born into the wrong family, in the wrong neighborhood, in the wrong timeline, and they're fucked. And the only difference between you and them is you got lucky and you were born in a good timeline.
Yep.
And your life, you got lucky. You live with nice people. Yay.
Yeah.
But they got fucked. And if we allow that to continue to happen, you're always going to have the same kind of problems over and over and over again. There's got to be a way to at least tilt that in a positive direction and build on it and actually have businesses that are financially incentivized for success.
Yeah.
Like, they make more money if people get jobs. They make more money if people get good grades. They make more money if they can figure out a way to transform crime-ridden, gang-ridden neighborhoods into places where people are thriving and happy.
There's got to be a way.
There's got to be a way.
There's got to be a way.
People like that place that I was telling you about in Oakland, that video, where they're driving through the shanty towns, and then immediately they get to this totally clean environment that's, run by different politicians. There's got to be a way to do that. There's got to be a way to engineer our society in a more positive direction. There's got to be.
Dude, the first step is you've got to turn your back on the state. You cannot believe the state is going to do this, because I think people are waiting for a top-down solution.
Right.
They're waiting for, what's his name, the New York dude?
Yeah.
Or they're waiting for someone to sign the right series of documents and everything's fine. And meanwhile, they're in their fucking high-rise with crusted jizz on their belly, posting shit on Reddit. It's like, really, this is going to be all hands on deck. It's like maybe the federal government is going to figure out the perfect way to educate and house and clothe and all this stuff. And that'll be great. But in the meantime, every single one of us, Every single one of us could do something. Not a big deal, not a big thing, but something. And instead of it, it's like when they say the government shut down the national parks. There's trash. I saw a picture, trash around a dumpster, and it's like, any one of us could drive a truck up to that fucking dumpster and clean up that trash. Why are we waiting for the federal government to do this shit? That's the problem, is the federal government's got us all hypnotized into thinking we need them to do these things. And I would, by the way, that'd be great. I think people living next to an open-air drug market / mental asylum would be quite pleased if the taxes that they were paying went towards getting these people medical care somewhere far away from their apartment.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. You can count on it. So in the meantime, what do we do? And you know, as I was like watching doom scrolling, looking at all the Oakland videos and stuff. This dude's interviewing people out there, soup kitchens, giving out food, and boy, that'll make you feel like a piece of shit. This guy's just helping. This is nobody. This is like, this guy's not filming themselves, taking fucking selfies, telling the stupid story of the time he gave a sandwich to someone with his kid like I did in the beginning. This is just people out there. They interview this guy. Why are you doing this? And he's like, I mean, it just seems like that's what you're supposed to do. It's so basic and simple. Wow. And that exists. That exists.
And that doesn't get highlighted. You don't get that in your algorithm.
No, you don't get it in your algorithm.
If you got more of that in your algorithm, you'd realize like, oh, there's good people out there still.
And I'm one of them. Yeah. And you can help. Yeah. And you don't have to film it. You don't have to do it for any reason.
Yeah.
And dude, the moment, we don't even know what would happen if under the yoke of whatever the regime happens to be, instead of flapping our fucking fireworks in front of ICE, if all of us were just going out there and I don't know, I suck at most things, dudes, but it's not that hard to give water to people out there. And yeah, some of them are fucking terrifying. They seem like they're possessed by demons. I'm surprised you don't believe in demons, but you know what?
It's not that I don't.
You believe in demons?
I'm agnostic on the possibility of demons. I definitely believe in good and evil, though. I believe I believe evil thoughts can get into people's minds, and then if you follow that down a long life, you can get to a pretty evil place.
Yeah.
That's how you get to a dictator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think that's real. And I think especially if you're involved in evil acts, so imagine you start off in some sort of military and you're in a foreign country and you're killing a bunch of people, and then you take over a town, and then things escalate, and you continue your career doing horrible things for decade after decade, and then you start to get into power, and then you get into political power, and then you start running the country, and then you overthrow the government, and then you become a dictator, and then you do horrible shit. You're Saddam Hussein, right? You have your sons are feeding women to dogs in the basement. Yeah. The real horrible shit.
Yeah.
That is evil. I had Jack Carr, the author, on the podcast yesterday.
What did he write?
He wrote The Terminalist, that Amazon series. It's he's great. See, it's the one that Chris Pratt plays in that Amazon series.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. But the books are amazing. He's a super fucking cool guy. Anyway, he said, he went to those palaces because he was a SEAL and he was in the war. And he went to those palaces and says, you can feel the evil.
Ugh.
He said, you feel it. He said, especially the kids, the sons, Uday and Kusei, they were monsters, serial killer monsters.
Jesus Christ.
Who were the sons of the dictator. They would find women while they were getting married. They would take the woman, they'd rape the woman, and then feed them to their dogs. They had these dogs that they would feed people to.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Fuck.
Yeah. I think that scene in Game of Thrones, do you remember that scene in Game of Thrones where he would do that? There was one of the evil dudes that cut that guy's dick off and he'd feed people to his dogs. That's a real thing, man. He really did that. Yeah.
God damn.
That is 100% evil. Now, is that demons inside of him? I don't know. I tend to think evil's in all of us. It's just, does it get cultivated, and what cultivates it? What makes it? You know, over time, over a long history of seeing and doing horrible things, I think you can get to a place of unbelievable evil.
Yeah.
I mean, think about Genghis Khan. Think about what that guy did while he was alive, where he killed 10% of the population of Earth.
Right.
I mean, if that's not evil, like what is? Like what is it? I mean, they would light people on fire and use them as catapults to light houses on fire. So they'd put them in catapults and launch corpses, flaming corpses, and they would land on these thatched roofs and start the houses on fire.
Right. Wow.
They would take people and they would kidnap them, right? So they would sack a town and they'd take all the people, and everybody that gave in and surrendered, they would put them at the front of the line, and then they would start attacking the city, and all the people would just get crushed by the enemy. So by the time they just pushed them forward, so they would get thousands of people in front of them and push them into a city, and those people are just getting hacked apart because there's people that are trying to stop the siege, and those are the people that are getting killed, and so they're like human shields.
Fuck.
And then they're trampling over their dead bodies to destroy the entire city.
Right.
If
happens.
that's not evil, like what's evil? Like to them, that was their destiny.
And that happens.
Genghis Khan's one of his quotes was crazy. It was, "You must have." I'm paraphrasing it. We could find it, I'm sure. "You must have done something horribly wrong for God to send me."
That was that letter to the Pope. Isn't that the letter he wrote to the Pope?
I don't know who it wrote it to.
One of them wrote a real takedown.
See if
letter.
you can find that. It's from like the. Do you know that what they know about the Mongols came from like one diary that they found in like the 1800s? Like there was so little known about Genghis Khan. They don't know where he was buried.
They still don't know.
They have no idea. They killed the people that took him there so that they couldn't tell, and then more people came and killed the people that killed the people,
right,
so that they couldn't tell.
Right. I think didn't they kill themselves after killing the people too? Like it was just like
something nutty like that.
Just
it's like fucking wild.
Fucking wild.
Yeah.
I saw.
But what is that quote that he had about God sending me? It's when you think about who that motherfucker was. I mean, he's the motherfucker of all motherfuckers. I mean, the greatest warlord of all time. He is the GOAT.
Yeah, man.
To the point where people don't even consider him evil, right? People don't think of Genghis Khan as evil. You think of Hitler as evil, right? But Genghis Khan's just this conqueror guy.
Right.
But meanwhile, he killed
so many people.
50 million people.
So many people.
He changed the carbon footprint of Earth. When they look at the carbon footprint of Earth, during his time, cities re-greened. There's a noticeable amount.
Yeah.
Because cities were destroyed and the nature just absorbed them and trees grew in their place. I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you.
Jesus.
I am the punishment of God. Imagine if that's how you justify just wholesale slaughter of everybody in a city and stacking the bones up so high that the Shah of Khwarizma sent an envoy to go and talk to whoever was running Jin China, and along the way they thought they saw a snow-capped mountain. And as they got closer, they realized it was a stack of bones.
God damn it.
It was 1 million people. They killed 1 million people and stacked them in the middle of the city.
God, that must have taken forever.
Forever.
Whose job is that?
Bro, they killed everyone. On the road, they had to abandon their wagons because the wagons were stuck in the muck of decaying people. They couldn't pull the wagons anymore because all the roads had deteriorated into muck.
Yeah, you know what? When you look back at shit like that, we're doing pretty good right now.
We're doing pretty good.
We're doing pretty good.
But that
is horrifying, dude.
If that's not evil, what's evil?
Well, that is evil.
That's evil.
That is evil. And what's interesting is people, I think, like around the world, regardless of the culture that you're raised in, we all have a similar sense of evil versus good. That's where it gets curious. It's like it seems like people have a sense of like, it isn't good, for example, to like fuck a dog corpse. I bet you could go all around the planet.
Most people say that's bad.
Most people are going to...
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't fuck dog corpses. Like, if you see a dead dog, don't fuck its ass.
And if you see that a guy's doing that, you go, that guy's a problem.
That guy's a problem.
We're going to have to take that guy out.
Don't hire him.
Yeah.
And so there seems to be built into us a sense of, like, harmony and how to do it and what it looks like.
Right.
And then there's examples like you just described.
Yeah.
It's like, that's one of the things we can also do.
Yeah.
Whew, that
Ooh.
would have been fun to be Genghis Khan, though, right?
Could you imagine being in that posse and knowing what you're going to do? And also just the fact that some insane percentage of people worldwide have his DNA because he had that many kids.
Just fucking. When he's not killing, he's just fucking.
That's all he lived for. He just lived to fuck and to kill.
How did he have time to plan war?
I mean, he was a brilliant strategist. That's what the crazy thing is. Like, they did a lot of sneaky shit. Like, they led people. They had, like, small packs that would lead people into the mountains, and then they would have a giant pack of people waiting for them, and they'd just fucking come down off the hills and engulf them. They did brilliant shit, man. They waited people out.
Is there a...
They drank the blood of their horses to stay alive. They ate their horses. They ate each other. Apparently, there was some cannibalism that was reported.
Is there a movie... Like, why haven't they made, like, a Game of Thrones style series?
There was one pretty decent movie, but in order for the movie to be realistic, it would have to be so hardcore.
Right.
And it would be really problematic because it involves a lot of rape. There's a lot of rape and a lot of horrible murders. And one of the things they did was they had some rule where, like, with kings and emperors, they weren't allowed to, like, chop them up. So they would kill them in different ways. Instead of, like, attacking them with swords or whatever they would do normally.
Roll them in carpets.
They would do that, or sometimes they would just stack their bodies and then build like a floor above them and eat on top of them until they crushed them to death. So they would build a platform over their bodies, just crush them with the weight of these timbers. These people would be moaning while they were eating.
Do you think that's real?
Yes. Yeah, that's documented.
Wow, man.
Yeah, the people that survived, that's one of the things he would also do, let some people survive to tell the stories.
Jeez.
Just run, tell everyone.
And of course, like, if you're at that dinner, you're not going to, like, complain about it. Like,
Nope.
You're not
You ain't
going to say shit.
You probably get off on it by now. You've probably been doing it for a decade. You've probably been killing people everywhere you go. They lived in felt tents, and they were nomads. So they had no real home, and they went wherever the fuck they went, and everywhere they went, they killed everybody.
Fuck. That is incredible.
It's a crazy story. And the story of Genghis Khan, his name was Temujin. He started off as a young boy, and he had a brother that was a cocksucker. And his brother was, like, stealing his fish and beating his ass. And one day he killed his brother. And his mother freaked out and said, "You motherfucker, you devil." And, you know, he started off young, is the point.
Yeah.
Started off young.
Yeah. Wasn't his family really poor?
Yeah. The whole story, it's crazy. His mother had to run because his father was killed, and his mother had to run. They barely survived. They were left out there to die.
But don't people... he's sort of beloved.
Oh, yeah. That's what's crazy.
There's
statues of him in Mongolia. Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, historically, he was doing what everybody else was doing. He was just doing it better. They were all doing that. When the Shah of Charisma sent the envoy...
Charisma? I thought I misheard.
Charisma was a country.
Okay.
He was the Khwarezmian Shah. It doesn't exist anymore. What is it now? Is it like Syria or something? You know, a lot of those countries, they changed names. What was Khwarezma? With a Q? Khwarizm? Khwarizm, am I saying it wrong? I don't think it exists anymore. I'm sorry if it does. It might be one of them weird ones.
Shah of Charisma.
But anyway, this dude was seeing, like, whether or not they could sack Jinn. You know, they were going to visit to see, like let's take a look and see what their defenses are like, and we'll bring some fucking carpets and some nice stuff and give them a little gift and then come back and fuck them up. Like, that was a standard move.
Right.
And when they were on their way, they're like, the Mongols already got there, and it was already too late.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, man.
If they had ever gotten into Europe, it would have been over.
I thought they did get to Europe.
No, but I mean, if they went into Italy, like if they went into like Rome and the Vatican, it would have been over.
Didn't he conquer more landmass than any other human? Like, didn't at some point they...
I think it's something like that. Present-day Central Asia, Afghanistan, and Iran from 1077 to 1231. Interesting. So that was the Khwarezmian Empire.
Whoa.
So from 1077 to 1231, first as vassals of the, how do you say that word? Seljuk Empire and the Quara Kitai Western Lao dynasty from circa 1190 as independent rulers up until the Mongolian conquest in 1219 to 1221.
Holy fuck.
The Mongolians took them over. Dude, they fucking took over everything, dude.
They took
over everything.
This is why I think people really get weirdly disturbed by Graham Hancock, because it's like you don't want to think about it. You don't want to think about the fact that there are all these empires. Forget the Khwarezmians. There's all these empires. No one knows what the fuck they were doing or who they were. Nothing, and they were just like us.
Yep.
They were talking, having conversations,
sipping tea, having fun with their boys.
Never thinking like, at some point people are going to be staring at the ruins of our temples, scratching their chins, wondering what this means. Dude, that to me is another unifying thought. Planetary unification is like, man, you guys, nobody to this day knows who built those fucking pyramids.
Right.
And they if you are like living around the pyramids, I doubt the thought ever crossed your mind. At some point, Mr. Beast Mr. Beast is going to be
film an episode of his YouTube show.
You know what I mean? That never occurred to you.
I almost went with him.
Mr. Beast?
Yeah, I almost
Why
went
did you
during
go?
that trip because I couldn't swing it. I didn't have the time.
Damn, dude. That sucks. You should.
But also, I didn't want to do it that way. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it for quite a few days, and I'm going to do it with like an expert, like a Ben, from Uncharted X.
Right.
Like one of those dudes, or Graham, if Graham has the time. I know he's very busy, but he goes there all the time.
Right.
I would do that. But what do you think about those structures underneath?
I pray that they're real.
Did you see Van Kerkwick's video? The video about the labyrinths?
Can we? I just read that.
I had him on the podcast. There's labyrinths that they've discovered that are underneath, that are historic. Herodotus talked about them. He said they're greater than the pyramids. The structure underneath some of the pyramids, greater than the pyramids, and through this ground-penetrating radar, they've found a 40-meter-long metallic tic-tac-shaped object that is in this great hall that's under the ground.
Okay.
So all this stuff exists, but they made a dam on the Nile River in the 1960s to help agriculture, and it changed the water table, and it flooded all these underground labyrinths.
God fucking damn it.
So they would it's like a massive undertaking to try to excavate and figure out what's in there.
But couldn't you put a drone, like a
No, it's all in
submersible?
water. You have to actually go through the water, and then below that
You'd
to
have
where
to
the labyrinths
dig
are.
through the mud.
They might actually be able to channel underneath it, they think, and go below the water table and then go to it, because it appears like the water is not in the labyrinth itself.
Labyrinth.
It's a labyrinth, sorry. Thank you. But whatever it is, there's a 40-meter-long metallic object of unknown origin that's the shape of a tic-tac that's in there.
This is real.
This is real.
Like, because I
40 meters, dude. This guy is so legit. The Uncharted X is a fantastic YouTube channel.
What the fuck?
And this is all like real science. It's the same kind of science that they're using to figure out what the fuck is under the Great Pyramid. All those weird
I thought
poles
that was debunked, and I was disappointed by that.
No, it's not debunked. Not at all. No, the images have been verified multiple times. They don't know what it is, but there's some structure underneath the pyramid.
See,
those columns are real. There really are columns underneath the pyramids, and it really does go down deep into the earth. They just don't know what it is. But the same technology, they've observed all of the different, like where they know where there's special chambers that are sealed off. They know where those things are,
dude.
but they saw it with the radiotomography. They also were able to use it to identify temples that were 25 and 50 feet underground. So it's accurate.
Give me a fucking break, man. How is that?
I know.
Because I was so excited when that came out. I'm like, I knew it. I've seen it on ketamine. And then...
Did you? What did you see?
It's hard to explain. It's like structures. I mean,
underneath the pyramids?
Let me reiterate. This was in the K-hole.
Right.
But it was like vast, cavernous spaces with structures in it. And, the weird thing about ketamine is it's kind of like you're being given a tour, and then it's like a viewfinder.
Dude, you remote viewed.
Maybe I remote viewed. It was very exciting to see.
And it was under the pyramids?
It was under the pyramids. But I must say, the next thing I saw was like a city being powered by meat. So It's not exactly like my remote viewing is.
Maybe that's what you're going to do with the homeless problem.
Oh, and Joe Rogan solves the homeless problem.
Maybe that's what the alien agenda is.
Well, I mean,
They power the city. We'll take care of your problems.
Dude, this is real. I am not comfortable with this Comet Atlas.
I know.
And
we've got Avi Loeb coming on to talk about it.
He's amazing. I had him on my podcast a long time ago. He put up with my ass.
A lot of people in the beginning were saying that it's bullshit. It's a comet. Why is he saying this? He's risking his reputation. But then as time's going on, they're going, "Well, this is weird. This thing's really weird."
Well, okay. First of all, it's important to note that one thing that titillates my dumbass is it just so happens the government shutdown coincides with when we could use the satellites on Mars to get pictures of that fucking thing. So we're not getting pictures. They did release a picture of it yesterday.
Wait a minute. The government shutdown is stopping us from getting pictures of this thing?
Yes.
That's insane.
That's insane. Now
that's so insane. They should open that up.
I mean, it seems like that's really weird. Did you see the images that just came in though? The Europeans got an image of it. And
it's weird looking.
It's weird looking, but I don't know what a comet looks like. So
I don't know what a comet looks like, and I don't know why it's weirder than other comets.
But it does seem like it's going. Loop, loop. It's like rolling in a weird way, but it's the gas, right? It's like it's what it's releasing is the weird part.
Well, the weird part is coming from the same part of the universe where the wow signal came from.
Yeah, that's weird. That's fucking weird.
That's
dude.
weird. Because that wow signal, what was it, like 70 seconds long? Some very strange coded signal that was 70 seconds long.
You know what else is weird is Jeremy Corbell said a bunch of people are going to start saying there's a mothership coming to Earth and don't believe him. Remember he was saying that?
Yeah, what's that all about? Why did he know that?
I don't know.
You got to tell people why you know something like that. You can't just say that.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, how do you know? How do you know that it's not really a mothership? How do you know they're going to say it's a mothership?
Well, Corbell, he's got to do this tightrope walk because somehow he does have inside contacts, but if he says too much, he puts his whole life in danger.
It's such a spy TV show. Dude, so much of it seems like a spy TV show. So much of it seems like a well-written psyop.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I think it's a slow trickle of disclosure. It's a slow recognition that we're not alone. That they've calculated that the only way to do this and not disrupt society entirely. You know Hal Puthoff? Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Do you know that story about how when he was George Bush, the original, Herbert Walker, he wanted to disclose. And what they were going to say was, we have recovered crashed UFOs that we have back engineered, and we have biological entities. There are things that are not of this world, and they're far more intelligent than us. He brought in a bunch of scientists and a bunch of scholars, and I want you to write down on the positives and the negatives of society, like the societal impact of disclosure, and give a numerical value to what it's going to do to the financial world, what it's going to do to the religious world, what it's going to do to government. And at the end, they all had the same conclusion. The cons far outweighed the pros in terms of disruption of society. So they decided not to release it.
Dude, what the fuck?
Isn't that wild? Like, they almost did that. What was that? George Bush. It was like 1990 maybe?
Yeah, it's really weird. Like,
isn't that crazy?
If our entire society depends on protecting billionaire pedophiles and not talking about aliens, then maybe we need a new society. just maybe, this is a fucked up society.
Or this is a good time for Jesus to come back.
Perfect time. Always a good time.
Also perfect because you'd have to really believe. Because with AI today, you don't know what the fuck is going on. So you'd have to really believe. Or Jesus comes through AI.
Well, it's possible. It is possible. I mean,
that's the portal that opens up.
That's the Christ, or the Antichrist.
And the Christ consciousness. Oh, well, come on, Duncan. Really, the Antichrist?
People are going to buy more
tickets.
To
bring this baby
people
home.
are going to buy more tickets to my movie.
It's true.
Nobody wants
it's
to.
True. Nobody wants to see the It All Works Out in the End movie. Fuck that. The battle for Satan. Dun, dun, dun.
Listen, man. Well, I think that here's a cheesy way to end it.
Okay.
I feel so lucky I'm your friend, man. You're the coolest. I was thinking about it the other day. You're one of my oldest friends. I've known you for so long, man.
I know. We've known each other a long time.
It's fucking cool.
I love you to death, man.
I love you too.
I'm very happy that we're friends too.
Yeah, it's the best, man.
It is. And it's funny because we became friends really talking on the phone when you were the guy taking the phone calls for availabilities at the Comedy Store.
We did this on the phone.
Yeah, we basically did. We started talking. You would like tell me, man, have you heard about this? I'm like, no, what is it?
Yeah.
We'd have these long ass conversations on the phone. Yeah, while
Sometimes
you were working.
Hours.
It really was like podcasts back then. Long before we ever went on the road together.
Yeah. It's fucking cool, man. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here, man.
Well, likewise. Thank you for having me on,
My
Joe.
pleasure, brother. It's always fun. Always fun to hang out with you. If you're around tonight, come do the show. Can you? Are you out?
I can't because I got to wake up at 3 a.m. to fly.
Oh, where are you going?
Tomorrow I'm headed to Tacoma. Oh, can I say some dates?
Yeah.
Shit,
definitely.
I always forget, dude. You've got the most popular podcast on earth.
You're in Tacoma this weekend. Where you at?
Hold on.
What club?
I Googled it because I've been on the road so much.
Tacoma's fun.
Well, when does this come out?
Tomorrow.
What?
Yeah.
Tacoma!
Come
see
in
me
hot.
in Tacoma. I'm going to be in Portland.
Here it is.
Right
here.
you.
Tacoma
Jesus, Jim.
Comedy Club.
Keep
I heard
going.
that's an awesome spot.
The Omaha Funny Bone.
I heard that's
Helium
an awesome
in
spot
Portland.
too. Portland
Can't wait.
Helium is, oh boy, you're going right to the belly of the beast.
I'm excited.
Oh, perfect for your comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Helium in Richmond.
Oh, they got a Richmond one too.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then
all of it is
Side Splitters.
available at duncantrussell.com/tour.
My man. Thank you, Joe. Love you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.